very good afternoon to you and welcome to the Valley as the Addicts take on Stockport County here in this League One encounter at the Valley. A sun-kissed Valley, it has to be said. The omens weren't good earlier on this morning, but happy to report that the clouds have abated and we're nice and dry and sunny here in South East London. Slight change in commentary alongside us this afternoon, as Mr. Greg Stubbley is off sunning himself in foreign climes. So it'll just be myself on League Comms, but alongside me, the legend that is, and somebody who's going to have to bail me out on several occasions this afternoon, I'm certain. It's Mr. Steve Brown. Steve, how are you, my friend?
Very well, thank you, Terry. How are you?
Yeah, yes, good. Actually. And we should be chipper, shouldn't we, after what happened here not last week before, because the internationals. Last time out, shall we say, against Birmingham. Positive result, positive performance, and on the back of three slightly disappointing ones, a much needed boost.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. I think we came off the back of the Bristol Rovers disappointment, didn't we? As in me and you, sort of travelling back up the motorway thinking, toughest game coming up. Absolutely need some kind of result. And actually, I thought the result was right and proper. I thought Charlton thoroughly deserved to win, but it was the performance actually that caught the eye. I thought we were so good out of possession, restricting a Birmingham side that had swept all away before it in previous matches, restricted to no shots on target. So a wonderful performance and much needed, because I think we've got a tough run of fixtures coming up, and going into them with 4 straight losses would have been hard to swallow. And
it's not just this fixture; it's all the forthcoming ones as well. We've got quite a tough 3 coming up in the space of a week, culminating in Wrexham back here at the Valley in a week's time. But it's churlish to say, and fairly obvious to say, of course, Brownie, that Nathan Jones will want that level of performance from his side from here on in, if we are going to threaten those top spots.
Yeah, I think probably the frustration before the Birmingham game was that the side had showed its capabilities out of possession previously, and we just seemed to lose our way defensively, and we were very vulnerable. And at the very least, we got back to being hard to break down against Birmingham, and hopefully, that bar we set against Birmingham will get matched again today, particularly out of possession, because I think when you frustrate an opposition and you make it difficult for them to create chances to get near your goal, that they'll start to take a few risks in the game. And I think we're particularly good when you've got the opposition in a position where it's taking risks. I think we're not a bad side at breaking through that. There will be a question mark for the time being on, are we a good side when we're the aggressor? When we're playing a Stevens, when we're playing a Bristol Rovers, and we should be on the front foot and we should be dominating, we aren't. So, but when we play the Boltons, when we play the Birminghams, and we can sit in a shape and we can break, and we look a lot better. So the question mark is there at the moment. Can we break down the teams that we're expected to beat? And I don't think Stockport are one of those, actually. I think Stockport are a very good side. I think I've said this before to you, certainly. The Stockport story fascinates me more than the Wrexham story. Having managed in the National South, it's not an easy thing to do, to drop all the way down to the National North and bounce back like they have as a football club. And they've stabilised. They've always had good support, Stockport. I played against them in the Championship back in the day, in the late 90s. And it's great to see them coming back through the levels, because they do deserve to be certainly a League One club. And if they get all their ducks in a row, they could be a Championship club again. But yeah, don't underestimate this team. It's a good side.
Absolutely, and we'll talk a little bit more about our visitors today. But before we do that, we've got a little interview lined up. One of the players who's been on the fringe of the squad and appeared in the EFL Trophy against Cambridge United. Sadly got himself injured during that game, but he really impressed during the time he was on the pitch, and has actually impressed off it since he's been at the club, and was rewarded with a new contract. And I am talking about, of course, Mr. Zach Mitchell. And Charlton TV caught up with Zach Mitchell earlier on in the week, and here's what he had to say.
You've just committed your long-term future to Charlton. How pleased are you to sign your new deal?
Yeah, delighted. Obviously been at the club for a long time, so I've got a strong affinity to the club, and really pleased to be extending my time here.
You signed at under-9 level. What does Charlton mean to you?
Yeah, well, Charlton's pretty much what I've known most of my life, so incredibly grateful for the time that I've spent here and all the opportunities I've had, sort of worked through, and now to get opportunities within the first team, once again, sort of extremely grateful. And looking forward to continue the journey.
There's plenty of other academy graduates who have progressed at the same rate as you. How nice is that to be playing alongside those guys?
Yeah, exactly. I think you grow up alongside the other players and sort of share a lot of experiences. And when you can share those first team experiences, I think that makes it that little bit sweeter. So yeah, it's been nice to progress with them at the same time.
And you obviously came to Slovenia in pre-season. How have you found working under Nathan Jones?
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. The gaffer and all the background staff. I think they've brought a nuanced and detailed philosophy, and I think that they've created a really positive culture. I think they're all passionate and we've got really high standards, and I think that's been reflected in the team. So yeah, excited to continue working with them.
And the gaffer was very complimentary about you post Cambridge United game in the Bristol Street Motors Trophy. How nice is it to hear that?
Yeah, it's always nice to hear nice things, and yeah, I thought the team done really well on that occasion, and we'll continue trying to progress in that cup. And I think we just see every game as a normal game, and yeah, I'll continue trying to develop and fight for a place in the first team.
And there's a clear pathway here. As a young player, how exciting is that?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a club that's got a good structure within the academy. I know there will be opportunities. I think you can see that within the first team. So, like I said, going to keep working hard, and my main aim will always be to contribute as much to the team as possible.
And what are your aims for the rest of this season and beyond?
Contribute just as much as I can. I want to try and become more regular within the first team, and yeah, keep fighting for a place.
So that was Zach Mitchell talking to Charlton TV, and what a future that fella's got ahead of him. Obviously, you never can say for 100% certain, and a lot will depend on injuries and everything else. But certainly in terms of attitude and talent, Zach Mitchell has got it in abundance and a bright future, I personally think.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that, Ter. In as much as what I witnessed at Cambridge was a very composed player. He looked to try and move the ball on quickly. In fact, for a young player, I thought he was trying to dictate tempo to the more senior players. He didn't want to let the game die. And he was getting on the ball, moving it nice and quickly. And he was pushing into midfield. If you remember that game, he was pushing into midfield, receiving, checking his shoulders. So there was a lot technically to like about him. And I like the fact he was trying to encourage everyone around him to play a little bit quicker. He didn't want the game to slow down at all. And that's quite a good asset to have on young shoulders, on in a young head. But like you said, we've seen a lot of impressive young players get to a certain point in their career, and it just doesn't materialise. I do think Zach has everything he needs to go on and have a professional career. What I think he needs, and whether it's here immediately or it's at another club on loan, he needs senior games now. He's at that point where 21's football's not doing him any good. I'm glad we've signed him on a long-term contract, but now the decision is it a long-term contract and we're going to get him into our first team? But if we're not immediately, let's get him out to the best possible club we can get him, so he's experiencing men's football every week.
Well, Nathan Jones on record is saying that they were talking and discussing about whether or not to send Zach Mitchell out on loan, but felt that he was much better served to be in the round of first team squad, and that he was very close to appearing in the first team squad on a number of occasions. Injury in the Cambridge game has probably prevented that a little bit. So I think Nathan Jones actually sees him as a first team squad member, or so it would appear. Now, you don't know for certain that there may be an opportunity that he might get to go out on loan, but whoever does get him, you mentioned before about he looked comfortable in midfield. He has actually, I've been lucky enough to watch him come through 18s and 21s, and he's been captaining teams as a midfield player, not just as a centre half. Versatile is a horrible word sometimes to mark on a footballer. I think I'd rather turn around and say he's a very good footballer that, if needed, can play wherever you want him to. But whether or not that will end up being as a centre half or a dominant midfield player remains to be seen. Of course, he's got good pedigree. His brother plays for Millwall, and so he's made the sensible choice of staying in this side of South London. And I'm sure him and his brother give each other a fair bit of stick over that situation. Look, we're very close to teeing up the Birmingham City highlights, because we mentioned it before, but we'll talk over just how that game panned out with some highlights here on Charlton TV. We'll talk over that, and then a little discussion maybe about that, and probably the side as well. If you do already know the side, you know that there are a raft of changes for Charlton, and we'll discuss those at length after we have a quick look at the highlights of that Birmingham City game last time here at the Valley, which ended up as an Addicks victory, 1-0, We're going to obviously see the goal, Brownie, and what a lovely little finish it was. And Matty Godden, who in a lot of respects reminds me, and I'm trying to remember, Gary Nelson. I mean, just that little, just a player who loves running into the channels, never stops running, always there with some good goals. Not necessarily you'd earmark as prolific, but grabs important goals and knows what a goal is, but also creates space and chances for other people.
Yeah, I put him in the upper end of football intelligence in terms of, certainly in League One, and the movement and the timing of the movement leads me to believe where he's at intellectually as a footballer. We can all see things developing, but reacting at the right times, anticipation is huge in football. It sort of sorts the men out from the boys, actually. When a player concentrates fully for 90 minutes, can see things developing and act accordingly, you kind of think, he's done well to get on the end of that again, but it's not luck. You learn as you go as a footballer, and some are like sponges and they pick it up very, very easily. Some it takes 5, 6, 7 attempts before they really fully understand anything, and some people don't ever get it. It's just they run around.
What? You didn't have looked at me when you said that, by the way.
No, I certainly wasn't looking at you, Tel. With Matty, he gets it, and he's been well coached. Coventry had Mark Robinson's manager, but behind Mark they had a guy called Adi Viviash, and Viv was Chelsea under-18s coach for many years and was very successful, and he moved into the senior game at Coventry and again found success at senior level. And I know Aid, and he's a brilliant coach, and Matty will have benefited from that level of coaching, and you can see it in his game. But a player still has to take on the messages, still has to take on the lessons, and he's done that. I do think I sort of pegged him when everyone said about him replacing Alfie. I said he won't score 27, but he could get you around 15. I might revise that figure, because what he's shown to me is that he hadn't had a full game since January. I didn't know that. When I spoke to him at the training ground, he said, when I find my feet, I think I've got 15 plus in me. And I think he could well have. If he plays and he stays fit and we keep providing the chances, I think he could get 15 plus.
Well, he had a couple of chances before the one he bagged, and it was just the technique for the one he actually scored. We've just seen it. That little technique in the box to spring and turn. And a lot of players, young ones especially, but even experienced professionals, would have just tried to leather that and snatch it a little bit and just try and get as much force behind it to try and bury it past the keeper. He used a touch to just steer it past the keeper. You don't have to leather the ball every single time just to score a goal, and that's the bit that I really liked from that goal particularly, is the nous he showed to be able to put that ball away.
Yeah, so putting the technical ability on the end of the intelligence. As a defender, I'll be heavily critical actually of the Birmingham back line.
I know.
Yeah, but just purely because you shouldn't get yourself squared off against the centre forward in the penalty box. But then you have to flip that and say Matty was brilliant. The intelligence he showed to pin, roll, and then let the ball drop to an area that he could just guide is the clever bit. And then it doesn't need fantastic amounts of power. It just needs to be pushed towards goal because of the proximity that he took the shot from. And I said on the day, the difference between a 0-0 and a point and a 1-0 win in the 3 was enormous for many different reasons on the day. Confidence-wise, it was a brilliant reaction. Will have done the power of good for the team walking into the training ground. We had a 2-week break, right, which you can fester on a result when there's an international break, and it works the other way when you have a great result. Sadly, we look like, and we'll come on to this in a minute, we picked up a couple of injuries during that break, but the training ground would have been a lot happier place to have walked into on the Monday, and hopefully we can now, as a group, recognise where we're at and where the bar can be set. And anything below that, they should now start getting annoyed with themselves rather than look for reasons and excuses. But yeah, I think today, I thought the Birmingham game was really important in terms of where we're at with 3 straight losses. Today, I think it's another one where if you're going to do something this year, these are the ones, the slightly tougher games at home that you've got to make count.
Funny, I saw a quote from Dave Challoner in the week that said something very similar. That he said, if we're going to figure at the top of the table, these are the games we need to pick up. And because I think he meant that with all due respect to us. I don't think he meant that Charlton would be an easy. And what he said was it'd be a mark of how good they are if they can get a result here. And I think that's to his credit that he realises that we are and should be one of the teams vying at the top. And I think that result last time out. Sorry, I nearly said last weekend. Last time out might have sent quite a few messages across the division.
Yeah, I believe so. And what it does is probably for Nathan is he probably became, actually, as the weekend sort of progressed, probably more frustrated about the previous results, knowing what we can do as a football team. I will say this: I think he will have had to have reflected a little bit on some of the setup decisions he made and the way he put the team out, particularly at Stevenage. I didn't get that one on the day. It still perplexes me even today why we went with a lone striker in Matty Godden and Kanu out wide. But that's the thing with the manager. Sometimes you make decisions and they're deemed genius, and other times you just scratch your head because it doesn't work. And unfortunately, the Stevenage and Bristol Rovers games were two where you just come away going, we need to bounce back here, and we did. But I quite like Dave Challoner thinking along those lines. I've just mentioned they were National North in 2018. We were Championship the following season when they were National Conference. And if you're going to progress through the leagues, 3 promotions in 6 seasons, I think you can be a bit buoyant. And I think you can, if you're not selling to this group of players that you want to be up near the top 6 with 3 promotions in 6 seasons, and he does get a little bit of backing. They've spent a little bit of money. Fiorini was a fair chunk. He can't be selling stability. He's got to be trying to sell to his group the upper ends of League One. From our perspective, we absolutely have to be selling playoffs because that's the expectation levels here. So these are the ones for me where we know Stockport's a good side. Wrexham again next week. We're not quite sure where they're going to pitch in. I think there is obviously an expectation from outside of Wrexham that they should be up there because of the money they've spent. I'm not so sure. League One's quite a good leveller, and if they do, fair play to them. But I think the next 2 games for Stockport and Wrexham are ones, particularly at home, that we have to put a marker down. We did it against Birmingham. We need to do it again today and next week.
And of course got Barnsley sandwiched in between those 2 games. So a 3-game stretch that you'd look at now. Barnsley aren't necessarily pulling up trees in this division this season as they have done previously, but still a tough place to go and get a result.
Yeah.
So if we can get 3 decent results out of the 3 games we've got coming up, I think as well as the Birmingham result, that's a definite marker for other teams and for us in this season. We do so with a slightly changed lineup, Brownie. We mentioned before about Daniel Kanu. We know he rolled his ankle against Birmingham and took quite a heavy knock, so we sort of knew he wasn't going to play. We know about Gaston Hadmay not playing because of the injury picked up against Bristol Rovers. But the side that we've got out this afternoon to take on Stockport County, we look at the list and we're without the vice captain Jonesy. We're out, and that's obviously Macaulay Gillespie can slot in to that spot, but he's been playing well, Jones, and it's a bit of a huge miss.
That's a massive blow for me, if I'm honest. I'm hoping Macaulay Gillespie catches me out for sure, because I'm not going to be very complimentary. I see him in a back 3. I'm not so confident in a back 4, but I hope he proves me totally and utterly wrong, and I hope he has an absolute blinder. But you're losing your captain and someone who was, for me, would be in the top 2 performers this year, along with Kane Ramsey. I think those 2 have been the standout players in terms of consistency across this season so far. So it's a big blow. But you have to deal with blows. Every year you'll have a player that misses out, and the whole point in giving Nathan a squad and giving him permission to go and sign pretty much anybody that he's wanted to sign is the fact that you should be confident when there is a blow, you can deal with it. So we'll see, but he's not changed shape.
No, the shape remains the same, and everybody potentially was worrying, or not worrying, that's the wrong word, wondering who would replace Connor Coventry, who's again been outstanding for us so far this season, but picked up his 5th yellow card and therefore misses the game through suspension. And possibly surprising is Terry Taylor coming in to fulfil that role.
I don't think it is a surprise, if I'm honest. I would have expected Terry Taylor to be knocking on the door. It would suggest to me the fact that he hasn't been in and around the team, that something's not sitting quite right in training or with him personally. You know, you are making huge assumptions there. But he should be in and around our first team as a player. He was very well sought after when he joined here. And injuries have meant that he hasn't done what he would have expected to do when he got here. I thought he performed well at Cambridge. And I'm glad he's in the side today. I hope he gives an 8 out of 10 performance, because that's, as a manager, that's what you need. You need players that have been out in the wilderness a little bit to come in and give you a problem. And if Terry Taylor puts in an 8 out of 10 and Doherty alongside him talks him through the game, and they start to forge what looks like a good partnership today, then although Nathan will have a tough decision on Conor Coventry, it's decisions that he wants. He's now got 3 vying for 2, and as a manager, that's kind of what you want. I hope for Terry Taylor's sake, for confidence sake, for belief in his own ability's sake, that he has a very good game today.
Yeah, again, I've been lucky enough to see Terry Taylor when he's played in the under-21s, and I think you could see there was a player in there. You can see there's a player in there. You can see he's a talent. I think my only assessment that why he might not have knocked on the first team door before there is that didn't necessarily carry it through for the 90, and I'm wondering if that's what Nathan Jones saw, whether or not he needed to up his fitness levels a touch, perhaps, because Nathan Jones did say that he was also knocking on the door a few weeks ago when I think somebody from South London Press, it might have been our Louis Minnis, who knows, but somebody asked him about Terry Taylor, and he said, well, you know, he's been close a few times, but at the time we were a winning side. We've had the 3-game, obviously we won against the Birmingham, but we had the 3-game patch where we weren't. So Conor Coventry dropping out, it's a blow, but it's an opportunity for Terry Taylor to stake a claim.
That's the whole point. You know, when you get a suspension, you know, and I've been in his position, well, maybe not his position, but I've certainly been out of the team and on the bench for periods. And it's really difficult because you have to make sure that mentally you're in the right spot, that your attitude is first class, and you have to maintain a standard in training that allows you to come out in the wilderness and perform to an 8 out of 10. And some people don't. I know that seems incredible for people to hear, but some people don't train as well as they should do because for whatever they're sulking, you know, they've had their nose put out of joint because they believe they should be playing, and they don't train and you know, at 100%. And actually you need to train harder than everyone around you, actually, when you're out the team, so that when you get that moment like today where you're thrust into the team, that you can perform at the levels that you need to maybe stake a claim to stay in the team. And I agree. I think there must be something on the training ground that Nathan said, he's just not my guy. I'm not putting him in at the moment. But today he's been forced to make the change, and he's been kind of forced to put Terry Taylor in, and it's now down to Terry Taylor to produce a performance that gives Nathan a head scratcher for next selection when Conor Coventry is available.
And does this sort of issue, because every side's going to suffer from injuries and suspensions through the season, the fact that we have the squad, the fact that we bring in now Macaulay Gillespie and we bring in Terry Taylor, sort of gives an indication that the depth of the squad is there, and we can find out now whether that depth of the squad is good enough.
Right. So this now comes down to individuals and how they've looked after themselves whilst they've been out the team, their mental approach to the game, because we certainly got the strength in depth. Well, I think we have anyway. But strength in depth is one thing. Players having the right attitude and looking after themselves and maintaining fitness levels to a degree that means you can be fiercely competitive when you get an opportunity is what we're going to see today. And they're going to find out a lot about themselves and if they are in that window of being able to compete for 90 minutes against an opposition that doesn't change its side too much and is, like we've discussed already, in a very buoyant spot as a football club. 3 promotions in 6 years, holding its own, more than holding its own in League One, and they're going to be very competitive. And if you're not up for that, earning the right, winning the individual battle, they will walk all over you. So you've got to be absolutely prepared today to go beyond anything like you've been performing in training to get your 8 out of 10 performance.
And that performance has got to come up against the side in Stockport. That is, I think, the second best away record in the. I think they're unbeaten alongside Lincoln. Second best away record in the division currently. So they know how to do the job away from home, and it's Charlton's task to try and make sure they don't do that again here this afternoon. And the two sides appear down to our left-hand side, out of the tunnel. And as they do so, and as they head towards the halfway line, I shall read you out the two sides, starting with our visitors, Stockport County. In goal for them, number 34, Corey Adai. 3, Ibu Toure. 4, the captain, Lewis Bate. 6, Fraser Horsfall. 11, Nick Powell. 15, Ethan Pye. 16, Callum Connolly. 17, Jay Mingy. 19, Kyle Wotton. 20, Louis Barry. And 26, Ollie Norwood. Your subs for Stockport, Ben Hinchcliffe, Sam Hughes, Jack Diamond, Isaac Alaofe, Jaden Fevrier, Lewis Fiorini and Odin Bailey. Your Charlton side will line up with in goal number 25 Will Mannion, 2 Kane Ramsey, 3 Macaulay Gillespie, 4 Alex Mitchell, 7 Therese Campbell, 10 the captain Greg Doherty, 12 Terry Taylor, 16 Josh Edwards, 18 Karoy Anderson, 24 Matty Godden and 28 Alan Campbell. Your subs for Charlton, Ashley Maynard Brewer, Luke Berry, Miles Leeburn, Kaheem Dixon, Romani Edmonds Green, Thierry Small and Mika Mbik. Your referee for this afternoon is Tom Reeves, and he's going to be assisted by Damis Bandara and Sam Ogles. Your fourth official is Robert Massey Ellis. As the Addicts go away to our left-hand side in traditional red shirts, white shorts, red and white socks. Stockport in a change strip of yellow shirts with blue sleeves, blue shorts and yellow socks. And we haven't mentioned it, but the bench as well, Brownie, Mika Mbik and Kaheem Dixon appearing. We know about Daniel Carney's injury, but no Chuks Aniki, which we hope is nothing serious and maybe a selection issue rather than an injury issue. I'm sure time will tell when the questions get asked. But anybody who's seen Mika Mbik, by the way, in the under-21s knows what a force he can be up front, and whether he gets his chance or not remains to be seen.
Yeah, I think Nathan set out an intent there by making sure that we've got attacking options in whatever way this game goes. I quite like the fact we've got Kaheem Dixon on. I thought he should have perhaps got an introduction at Cambridge when we were 2-0 up or 2-1 ahead. I didn't see the sense in putting Tyrese Campbell on that day, but hopefully we'll get to see Kaheem. We know he's full of pace when he gets on the pitch, but also be nice to see him big, and it's a big step up. So I've said this, I think the gap's getting wider and wider and wider between reserve team stroke 21's football and the first team, and it's a big gap. But you've got to give these guys an opportunity to make make that gap up when they perform in the first team. And the more opportunities you can give them, the more relaxed and used to the atmosphere and the tempo of the game they'll be. But it's difficult to do when you're chasing results every week. You know, a manager's under pressure every single week, particularly here. There's an expectation here to be top 6, and it's difficult to breed in youngsters when you're under pressure to get results every week.
Well, if you are watching here this afternoon on Charlton TV, you're very welcome. And just to remind you, if you have purchased a stream pass just for today, you can purchase an annual pass for £230, which gives you coverage of every single remaining league game here this season. The two sides have selected which direction they're playing in, who takes the kick-off. The Addicts will defend the covered end in the first half, attack the Jimmy Seed stand, where there's really just short of a couple of thousand Stockport fans, some still making their way in. And it's Stockport who get us underway. Ball back to the keeper, Adai. Send it forward down the Charlton left-hand side into the sunshine. Gillespie with the header away. Flicked on back towards the Charlton penalty area. Mitchell gets there first. Clearance ball tidied up at the back for Stockport and then sent forward once more. Long ball headed into the inside by Wotton, tidied up by Ramsey, and fizzes it back at Mannion, and he's had to sky his attempted clearance, and it's away from the first corner in the opening minute.
Yeah, not the start you want really. That pass was far too heavy, skidded off the surface, which was heavily watered beforehand. And Mannion just late on his clearance, and up and away it goes, sliced off the boot, out for a Stockport throw-in. Corner, sorry.
It's a nervy start.
3v1 out for Stockport here on the corner as well, which has just been addressed by the staff.
Corner on the Stockport left. Swung in, central position. Gillespie got something on it, deflected out, and it's a shot coming in from Toure, but it's comfortably wide of Mannion's left-hand post. Charlton can regroup after a slightly nervy start. Looking at the Stockport lineup, looks like a back four, but we'll see how that pans out. Currently Toure on the left-hand side, Pye, one of the two centre halves alongside. Looks like it might be Horsfall, with normally Mingy on the right hand side of the defence, but he looks like he's playing a little bit further forward. Ex-Charlton player, of course. The Stockport win the header, and then there's another long ball forward looking for Wootton, who collects. The intent from Stockport to get the ball early up as early as possible. Clear to see early on as Charlton clear it away in the shape of Taylor. It's picked up by Doherty. To the left hand side is Edwards. Edwards looking ahead of him. Campbell making a run into the channel, but Charlton were a little bit narrow there, so it's come backwards to Gillespie, who knocks it forward. Again, Campbell, the intended recipient, a little bit too much on that, and the current right back, Connolly, ushers it out of play for a Stockport throw adjacent to their corner of their penalty area on the right hand side. And Connolly, down the line it goes, looking for the flick on from Powell, who gets it, but got it straight out of play. It'll be a Charlton throw. Back there is Mitchell. He's going to leave that to his centre-half partner, Gillespie, who in turn leaves it to Edwards and then gives it the throw back to Gillespie. Under pressure from Wootton, goes inside to Mannion. Opening 2.5 minutes here. Early scare for Charlton from a panicky corner. Other than that, not much to report as Mitchell brings it out of defence, out to Ramsey on the right-hand side. Ball infield is a good one to Anderson. Oh, almost perfect touch to take him past Horsfall, but on the cover was Bate. Stockport clear it upfield. Good header coming in from Gillespie to win it for Charlton, and then swung forward by Doherty. Campbell looking interested as it goes into the penalty area, but the bounce favours the keeper Adite, who claims it up in the air and then throws it out to the left-hand side to Toure. Toure again looks forward, again looks for the run of Wootton. Mitchell across, gets his header to it. It'll be a throw-in to Stockport halfway inside the Charlton half. On the left-hand side, Toure forward to take it. Looking for options. In the shade of the West Stand, looked like a foul throw, and Nathan Jones agreed, but Toure's got away with it, and he's got the ball back at his feet. Infield, Bate brings it across midfield and then goes backwards to Horsfall. Out to his right-hand side is Connolly. Held up, and it's a loose ball back, and Campbell looking interested. Horsfall just got there before him. Campbell almost pounced on an error as Stockport then knock it long, and Mitchell just allows Gillespie to come and attack that ahead of Wootton. And it will be a Stockport throw again halfway inside the Charlton half. Yeah,
I mean, we're set up in the same formation. We've got the box midfield that was so successful against Birmingham. They keep flitting between a back three, which you look down the pitch now, they've got a back three in place with two wing backs high up the pitch. But then when they're out of possession...
Ball knocked in by Toure as he got it back from the throw. Looking for the run of Powell, but it's a good claim from Mannion in the sunlight.
Yeah,
no cap.
No.
Keepers don't wear caps anymore.
No, it's a thing of the past, isn't it? But just saying that Toure, the left wing back, sort of slots into left back. But it's Callum Connolly who's caught us out. He's sort of right side of the centre half, stroke right back. So they flit in between two formations for me.
What you're saying is we were both right pre-match, and I said it was a 4, you said it we were 4.
Yeah, listen, it takes a lot of doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because you know what I can tell you is that Mingy, who played right-sided centre half last week, is almost an attacking right. And he's not really getting back into a defensive spot. They're trying to push him forward as far as they can, Stockport.
Well, not much is happening on the field. Charlton in possession, knocking it backwards and forwards. Anderson picks it up in midfield off of Mitchell. That's a good ball out to Campbell. He just couldn't take it in his stride though. And Stockport have it back with Norwood. It's operating fairly deep, Norwood. Stockport knocking out left to Toure. Cuts inside, but Anderson stays with him. Goes backwards in the end. And Stockport launch it forward. Mitchell with the header away. Bate will knock it back forward, straight to Doherty on halfway. Doherty, ball out to Campbell. A slight heavy touch, but he's got the ball back and then finds Ramsey behind him through the legs of Barry. Charlton work it across to Gillespie in the middle. Out back right to Mitchell. Brings it forward, Mitchell. Inside of him is Doherty. Ramsey available to the right. It's Kane Ramsey bringing it forward. Still bringing it forward came Ramsey, and there's a diving lunge coming in, but it's Ramsey back to Doherty, and he's spotted Edwards away on the left-hand side. In space, Edwards, ball into the box, cleared away, and it'll be Charlton's first corner as Connolly concedes.
Yeah, and it's Doherty actually just has the foresight to compose himself, pick a pass to Ramsey, and we know Ramsey likes to do this. Once he's got the ball in front of him, he likes to take up space and drive at people. It was a touch fortuitous to get the ball back on a challenge, but from that point, I think it was a wonderful switch of play, and I think we could find Edwards is in a lot of space at times in this game.
Short corner into the feet of Campbell, gets it back. Taylor will try to ping it across to Campbell, and there's a pull back in there on a Stockport defender. I think it might have been Horsfall, and it'll be a free kick to Stockport in the penalty area.
Yeah, I quite like that corner. I quite like the routine, but when it goes back, I'm not sure we needed to feed that in. You know, nobody was on the person in possession of the ball, which was Taylor, and I think he could have taken a touch. And he forced, because you've got a premeditated idea, a routine off the training ground, you play it. But actually, part of being a professional footballer is reacting in the moment. And I thought Taylor could have taken a touch and dribbled into the box, and maybe then had a cross shot. So a mistake there. I think you can, you've got the licence to come away from any routine to do what you want to do as an individual.
A nice goal kick. Mitchell and Gillespie tidy up for Charlton, and then Campbell tried to bring it away, but he's intercepted by Mingy, and apparently that's come off of Campbell. I'm not sure I saw that, but certainly the assistant over there was actually quite a distance away from the ball, has given it Stockport's way. Maybe he saw something we couldn't on that far side, the near side as you look, of course, as Mingy will be prepared to take this throw. Down the line it goes. Edwards with the header away into Doherty's good header. Doherty finds Taylor. Taylor up to the feet of Campbell. Therese Campbell, lovely little touch into Anderson, looking for support. Anderson turns away from trouble. He's got Doherty providing that support, and left to Taylor. Taylor outside of the boots, a lovely looking ball, looking for Campbell, and on the slide and on the challenge is Horsfall, who concedes another corner.
Yeah, better from Charlton, looking better in possession, options to the player in possession, couple of nice touches there and switches of play as well. Yeah, just starting to take control ever so slightly. Nothing too much to write home about, but starting to get on top of the game.
Thought Anderson had his best performance of the season against Birmingham City, and he's continued where he left off.
Just worried about him, miles covered.
Corner comes in, this time swung in first time, headed away. Campbell on the edge of the area will head it back towards the 6-yard box. Another header, this time Anderson will trying to find Taylor on the outside. Stockport clear it away, and that's great defending from Ramsey to win it back for Charlton. Outside of him is Doherty. Anderson makes a run into the channel. Anderson, early ball into the box, straight to the keeper.
Yeah. Good interception from Kane Ramsey, and actually a good run in front of the ball from Anderson. I don't think he should have delivered. Reverse turn, keep possession. He was right near the byline, couldn't wrap his foot round it, straight into the Stockport keeper. But this is front foot stuff from Charlton. They're in control at the minute, keeping the ball away from Stockport County, not allowing them to settle.
We'll send the ball long, and there's runners into the penalty area, and one of those is Powell, and he collides with... Oh, and the referee's given a penalty. Powell jumped in at the ball, collided with Mannion. The referee didn't seem to do anything, and he must have taken advice from the assistant. As the ball's bounced beyond the Charlton defence, Gillespie caught on the hop a little bit.
Yeah, you have to say he's made no contact with the ball, though, Tel.
Yeah, I mean,
if that's anywhere, can I say if that's anywhere else on the pitch?
It's a foul. Yeah,
it's a free kick. Yeah,
I need to see it again. I think. But you're right. There was no contact made, but who initiated the contact? I suppose is the question. Whether
well, you've got the centre forward going through, and the criticism is not going to come from the penalty decision for me. The criticism comes you've let two centre halves have let a ball. One's fighting a player, not assessing the flight of the ball. The other one's cover is awful. Then you've got a left back allowing a player on his outside to get on his inside shoulder, which is criminal. So there's a lot of stuff that could have been dealt with a long time before that ball goes through to Mannion, and he's on
running
the back
through to Mannion out. I mean, Mannion as a keeper comes out, certainly connects with Powell while he was in the air, but who initiates the contact there? I think if you're Stockport, you say there's a penalty all day long. I
think it is a penalty.
I can see what. Look, I'm in the camp where I can see where the decisions come from. I still think it's a tad harsh, but I can see why.
If the keeper has to make contact with the ball first for that not to be a penalty, and he doesn't, the striker makes contact first, and then Mannion takes him out. He could tap that in the back of the net if there's no contact. So it's just really poor defensively from the two centre-halves, and I think Edwards could have done more to block Powell coming in on his blind side. So a catastrophe, actually, that's led to the penalty to Stockport.
Well, it's a penalty to Stockport in front of the covered end. It looks like it's Barry who's going to take it. Steps forward now, strikes it to the right side of Mannion, who goes the wrong way, and Stockport have the lead here.
Yeah, and it's met with boos purely because they think the referee's made a poor decision, but that is as emphatic a penalty as you'll see. Sent Mannion the wrong way, and even if he'd gone the right way, I'm not sure he's saving that. It's a wonderful strike from an informed player. He is one of their top players. I think he's sort of in the top 10 of goal scorers this season, and he's added one more to his tally. Stockport 1-0.
Well, contentious, potentially. You'll need to make your own minds up with that. I concur with Mr. Brown that once Mannion doesn't make contact with the ball, he runs the risk, and he certainly made contact with Powell. I'm still not sure who initiates the contact, and that's my only question mark.
If I'm honest with you, and that will be a focus of interviews after. If this stays 1-0, it'll be a massive talking point for the managers. I'm at a loss as to how two centre-halves can't make contact with a 60-70 yard ball straight down the middle of the pitch, and I'm also at a loss how a left-back hasn't got his arm across someone's. I think it was who came in off the right side, Powell, wasn't it, who came in off the right-hand side. You don't let anybody in off your shoulders regardless of the situation. It's really poor from us defensively. The cover on the missed header. Well, Gillespie doesn't even bother going for it. He's fighting the centre forward, which is in itself wrong. Assess the flight first, can you win it? Cover from Mitchell wasn't good enough, and the decision from Mannion staying on his line was not good enough either. So all in all, pretty disastrous goal to concede.
Stockport defend the ball forward away from the restart. Campbell now tussling with Pye. Stockport cleared away only as far as Ramsey, who lets the ball out of play for a Charlton throw. Throws it backwards to Mitchell. Inside of him is Gillespie. To his left is Taylor into the centre circle. Steps inside, finds Gillespie on the opposite side of that centre circle. He's got Ramsey out to the right. Campbell running into the channel. Ramsey goes firstly on the outside, then back inside. Now finds Campbell, who's trying to protect the ball, and then just got his ankles clipped by Toure. Charlton will have a free kick 5 yards outside the diagonal of the penalty area on the right-hand side.
Yeah, and what I would say, leading up to that opportunity that we've given Stockport to take the lead, we were just about getting to grips with the game and on top, and we were looking the better side. I'd like to have seen Campbell take that on the back foot first touch, but either way I think he would have got sandwiched out. But it's important he gets himself into this game. I like him more as a wide player, but when he's up front he's got to get in the game. So taking up little positions like that are really important for him. It's drawn a free kick. Taylor's over it. I think he's a bit of a free kick specialist. Just need a decent delivery.
There's a one-man wall who's actually as far almost by the corner flag.
He's protecting the shot. To be honest, he's protecting the shot at the near post.
Terry Taylor swings it in. That's a good call, a good free kick, and it could have gone anywhere. And
now that.
Firstly, it was Godden who missed the first one. Zach Mitchell coming into the edge of the 6-yard box couldn't get there, and I couldn't see who the defender was. Might have been Horsfall. Looped it over his own bar, and it's another corner.
Well, you don't see many of those deliveries to the pound, I've got to be honest. That is as wicked a delivery as you'll get. Very difficult to deal with. It's actually taken a flick, and it's taken a flick off the first defender. Yeah. Otherwise, Gordon has got a chance.
Corner to Charlton, swung in again by Taylor. It's a deep one this time, too deep for everybody. Gillespie will pursue it back out here, trying to get something on it. Does so. It's a good ball inside on. Doherty couldn't take it under control. Comes back to Gillespie, who's deemed to be offside. I'm not sure about that, because there seem to be a lot of players in and around the 6-yard box, but linesman in a perfect view gives that as offside. Yeah,
and it's a shame because the first corner was overhit by quite a way. After that wicked delivery from the wide area, the corner's given nobody a chance really. Yeah, I'm just seeing a replay. Yes, it's poor officiating that one.
Strange one. But I think the linesman looked up at the last minute after Gillespie was got to the ball. Didn't see the defenders running out after the ball was played, I think. But there we are. It's a free kick taken by Adai. It's up towards the Charlton middle. Wootton with the header. Edwards beaten to it, but Mitchell behind to clear it forward. Anderson will challenge. There's something on it. Toure challenging for Stockport. Now Doherty gets the ball forward. Cleared away by Pye. Mitchell on the clearance for Charlton. Nudge in the back by Campbell, which sent Norwood sprawling. Ignored by the referee. But Connolly has possession for Stockport. Inside of him is Bate. Norwood once more, and that's well played by Anderson. He takes the ball off his toes. Anderson in towards the penalty area. Out to his right is Campbell. Campbell cuts inside on his left. Shot saved away by Adai and then cleared behind for another Charlton corner.
Yeah, and it's an excellent challenge to initially get the turnover, which sends Anderson away. He had options left and right, and I'm going to say this, but I thought he should have gone Godden. But either way, we got the shot away. We did get an end product. It's a good save from Adai, corner Charlton, but excellent turnover in midfield to lead to the opportunity.
It's a good response from Charlton to go in a goal behind. And the corner comes in. This one's not quite as deep. Anderson, oh, what a save by Adai! Outstanding save from the Stockport keeper when it looked a certain goal.
Yeah, I mean, these deliveries in are superb, and it's a good run. I think it's Anderson who meets it, isn't it, near post. Just got to head it down. I know it's an old cliche, head that down and we're 1-1, but it's a good height for Adai. It's still a wonderful save, don't get me wrong. It's a reaction save from 6 yards. It's a wonderful save, but if you can get over the top of that, head it down, we're 1-1. But this is good stuff from Charlton, good response.
Second corner from Taylor. Another one towards the centre of the 6-yard box. This one's headed away. And Ramsey will head it back towards the penalty area. Doesn't get enough distance on it, but it's picked up by Gillespie. Ball forward to Campbell. Oh, and again it's another close one. Horsfall put his arm up in the air after Campbell had made the run. The linesman down here put his flag up in reaction to the arm going up in the air.
That wasn't the worst.
Again, we're not in line with that, so we don't know for sure.
No, but that wasn't a worst ball in from Taylor. But we've got too many players in front of the line of that ball. You know, you've got 3 along the goal line. Can we have one of them staggered and coming in attacking behind the first player where Anderson met the corner previously? We should have somebody arriving in the centre of the 6-yard box behind that.
Stockport clear it long. And Alan Campbell with the challenge, but Stockport have it with Mingy on the right-hand side. Edwards putting him under too much pressure, according to the official. And it's a free kick to Stockport on the right-hand side. 15 yards or so inside the Charlton half. Just looked at the replay. The assistant down here probably got that one right, I think, looking at the position of Campbell. Again, difficult to tell from the angle we're at. We're not in line. But at the moment, as the sun goes behind the clouds here in south-east London, Stockport have a free kick on their right-hand side. So they swung in. I think that's Norwood currently over the ball. Lots of challenges on the edge of the penalty area before the ball comes in. Godden with the header away, only as far as Powell. Goes left to Barry. Back to Powell, still on the left-hand side. Powell, ball into the box, looking for the run of Barry, but it's asking too much of him. Ramsey comes across, just shielded away for a Charlton goal kick. We've had 19 minutes. Stockport have the lead with that penalty after 11.
Yeah, and that's a shame, because actually we've created better opportunities than they have. We've been the better side in possession, but it was a catastrophic goal to concede. You can't gift goals to oppositions like that, and so we face a slightly uphill battle, but the response has been good.
Well, Mitchell gives the ball back to Mannion. Charlton trying to play it out to Gillespie on the left. Further left is Edwards. Edwards with Stockport pressing, goes back to Gillespie. He's got Mitchell away to his right-hand side, and Ramsey is hugging the touchline here on the right as well. Ramsey looks down the line, shapes to go one way, then goes outside, and looked like there was a foul in there, and it was Barry who holds his head in his hands, but he had 2 good pulls at Ramsey as he tried to go past him. Charlton for a kick taken quickly out to the middle, and Gillespie looking to go over the top to the right. Doesn't find Anderson, headed away by Pyatt. Completed by Toure. Did that come off of Anderson? Yes, I think it did. It's away for a Stockport throw.
Yeah, my worry for Anderson is he's been away on international duty, played games, flown a long way. So, you know, will he tie? Let's see. But again, Ramsey looked up there, ball, and best he could do was a foul and a free kick, because the movement up front from Campbell and Godden wasn't good enough. He was desperate for somebody to make a run into the channel. It didn't come, and he had to turn inside and drew the free kick, which is the best he could hope for. Need a little bit more in front of the ball, at certain times. Like, we're a bit predictable. If we don't find that ball inside to one of those two front central midfield players, I don't think we've gone in behind enough. I certainly could have picked to go in behind one or two more opportunities up to this point.
Wotton and Mitchell tussling after the throw comes in from Stockport, and Taylor heads it out of play for another Stockport throw. This time 10 yards inside the Charlton half. Toure to take it. Barry making a run inside, but it's gone to Bate. Goes backwards, rather riskily, to Pye. He's going to have to go back to his keeper. Therese Campbell will put him under pressure, and goes right to Connolly. Alan Campbell going across to face. Connolly goes long, looking for Powell. Gillespie with a header away, and Mingy in the follow-up gets his head there, and Doherty's ball back was a heavy one, unfortunately for Charlton. Runs through to Mannion. Mingy gives him a little push in the back, trying to force him out of play, but Mingy didn't have enough pressure on the push, and secondly the referee had noted that he'd fouled him anyway. Charlton happy to carry on. Ramsey on the right-hand side. Swinging ball across, looking for Campbell. Campbell just can't get this, just too high above him, but that's got to have gone out of play. It's the header coming back from Connolly, who got there ahead of Campbell, trying to go back to his keeper, who couldn't keep it in. Caught the ball, I think, before he went out of play, but his slide took him another yard out. Corner to Charlton in front of the scoreboard. Yeah, and I thought the pass was the wrong pass, so we're fortunate to get a corner out of that. I thought the defender read it well, got the header back to his goalkeeper. I thought he was a little bit slow, actually, Adai, to get across to that. But Edwards is the ball for me. Seems to have a lot of time and space on that left-hand side. Taylor with the corner. It's a decent swung in again. Powell with the header up in the air. Anderson will challenge for it. It's sort of... he was under pressure, tussle in there, the ball bounced up, hit him on the arm. Referee's given a handball in the penalty area, but not to Charlton.
Yeah, I certainly think there are opportunities for us from these deliveries. I mean, you can't really ask any more than where these are ending up. Middle of the 6-yard box with pace. Keeper can't come because the pace is too good. I don't think we're... I mean, Anderson met one earlier and it was brilliant. In terms of the only criticism, we could have head it down, but we're not getting anyone near these deliveries, and Taylor can't really put him in any better spot than he is.
Adai sends the ball forward into the sunshine again here at the Valley, and Charlton players incensed with the official over there. They thought that came off a Stockport shirt. The assistant over there thought otherwise. I didn't quite see it myself. From the keeper. And Mingy will have the throw adjacent to the corner of the Charlton penalty area on their right-hand side. Gets it back. Mingy. Ball into the box. Low, straight to Doherty. Clears it away, but got lucky as it falls to Anderson. Anderson being harassed by Bate, who comes away with the ball. Stockport have possession back, but they can't do anything with it. Mitchell takes over for Charlton. Lifts the ball into the centre to Campbell. Campbell touched back to Doherty. Just sent him scampering backwards a little bit, but Gillespie rather will pick it up and now find Mitchell to his right. Ball forward to Doherty once more. Still got Gillespie in space as again Stockport try to press Charlton. Taylor to the left is Campbell. Further left is Edwards, but just dragged it back inside Campbell to switch play to Mitchell. Mitchell ball forward to Doherty. Instant ball out to Ramsey on the right. Anderson making a run into the right-hand channel. Karoy Anderson with two Stockport players accompany. And Toure gets a touch on the ball. It goes out of play, and an assistant down there gives it Stockport's way. Must have come off Campbell's foot, Anderson's foot. He doesn't agree with it.
Yeah,
nothing going Charlton's way at the minute.
Well, I saw a replay of the one you were talking about, and again, Gillespie's too busy fighting the man, not trying to adjust down the side and get in front and cause the centre forward problems, and it does cannon off his leg for that previous throw, and that one there I'm on top of. Again, I've got to say, I think the linesman's got it right. So we do feel a little bit hard done by at the moment, but actually I think the officials are doing okay. I think they're getting it right.
Charlton ball forward, so a little touch from Godden into Campbell, out to Therese Campbell, trying to drag it back towards Godden, cleared away before it can find him, and Stockport clear it only as far as Taylor. Good ball forward to Alan Campbell. He's got Therese Campbell outside of him. Campbell to the corner of the penalty area, back to Alan Campbell. It's fizzed at him and he couldn't control it, and Stockport will clear, but only as far as Mitchell. Mitchell goes to shoot, strangely. Instead goes right to Ramsey. Sent him a bit too far right, so he's done well to keep possession, and then spots the run of Godden into the corner of the penalty area, but across his horsefall comes away with the ball. Sends it long and forward. Charlton should be able to deal with that. And the header back from Gillespie has managed to find Mannion, who worryingly came out almost alongside Gillespie, but they got away with it. And it's Gillespie who brings it forward.
Yeah, go back to that chance just moments ago. Campbell breaking through, massively overhits the pass to Tyrese Campbell, and the chance goes. But we've got to have more quality when we're in those situations, and we've got to be far more clinical, because we've had enough opportunities here to be level. And it's the lack of quality and crispness in the final third that's costing us at the moment.
Charlton just out-muscled in midfield there between Bate and Barry. Barry went to ground. I don't think there was any contact, but the intent was there from Doherty, and I think that's what the referee gave the decision for. And it's a free kick to Stockport on this left-hand side. A yard in, 2 yards maybe in from the touchline, in front of the Charlton dugouts. Norwood over it, and crowd getting restless at Stockport are taking their time. I wouldn't necessarily blame them. Ball forward to Wootton is miscontrolled. That's good work from Ramsey. Ball back to Taylor, up towards Tyrese Campbell. Lovely touch into Alan Campbell. Alan Campbell. Tyrese Campbell ahead of him. Back to Ramsey, inside to Taylor. Taylor, ball across to Gillespie. He's got Edwards in space on the left-hand side. Edwards looking to take on Mingy. Ball into the box. It's a good one. Godden almost there. Campbell trying to follow up. There's an offside flag on, must have been against Godden as the ball came in.
Yeah, we'll have to trust that the linesman's got that right. But again, it's a decent switch of play out to that left-hand side, and I think that's good intent from Edwards. It's a touch, it's a look forward, and it's a delivery.
It's a close one, but it had to be Godden.
It's from that replay, I can't see it in terms of how that was given, but there you go, it was given, and it's a free kick to Stockport. But that's good possession from Charlton, breaking down the right hand side, turning out, keeping possession, switching out to the left, stretching your position, and a very good delivery from Edwards. Again, I say this every week, I get bored of saying it, anticipation in the box. Stop waiting for the cross and actually make your run early and get away from your marker, and then hopefully the cross comes in that vicinity. By the time it's left the boot and it's on its way, you're more often than not too late. Campbell wrong side of the defender to make any fist of that cross anyway once it avoids Godden at the near post.
Stockport trying to attack down that right hand side from the free kick, defended by a combination of Campbell and Godden. A throw into Stockport though on that right hand side. Connolly goes long with the throw. Gillespie heads it infield. Doherty battling for it as with Campbell, but it battled illegally according to the referee, and it's a free kick to Stockport once more. This time for the challenge on Powell. And certainly Charlton are feeling slightly aggrieved here at the Valley. There's the ball up in the air from Gillespie. There's a sandwich in between Campbell and Doherty, and the free kick's been given, and it's about 10 yards outside the corner of the Charlton penalty area on the Stockport right hand side, diagonal to that corner. Charlton will be as well not to get too frustrated, not to get too anxious about this as the free kick comes in. It's a low one, headed up in the air and over from it might have been Connolly who got his head to that. It's away for a Charlton goal kick, but yeah, it's key that they keep their composure, Charlton, and don't get overly frustrated with what must seem like everything going against them. As Charlton bring it out to Ramsey, who's got space to move into. Ramsey, ball infield to Anderson. He's got Terry Taylor in the centre circle. Out to the left-hand side is Edwards. Just had to halt his run to pick it up. So stalled the move a little bit. Back to Gillespie, across to Mitchell. Mitchell can bring it forward. Ramsey available to his right. Ball worked across to Gillespie in the centre. Edwards still available on the left. A little touch to Taylor. A little bit of trouble, but he managed to work some space to find Mitchell. And Mitchell tried to go back to a combination of either Taylor or Doherty and got it wrong, and Stockport had possession back. Campbell, it looked like he won the ball, but I think the referee would have said that he had to go round the player and foul him to get to it. Again, looked a little harsh, but that might be where I was saying before about the eagerness of Charlton and frustrating and not getting on the ball. Just little niggly fouls. And Charlton had possession back from that Stockport free kick fairly quickly and work it back to Mannion. Mitchell now takes over. Right side of the penalty area, bringing it forward. Charlton crowd trying to get behind the Addicts to lift them to get back into this game.
Yeah, well, I don't think they deserve to be losing this game in particular. I think we've been the better side in terms of creating opportunities, but like I said...
Ball forward from Ramsey, looking for Campbell, and it's an important header away from the diving Horsfall. And then Pye will complete the clearance by hoofing it forward.
Yeah, that's where you need Addison and Campbell up behind that long ball. You know, whether it's us who wins the first ball or their back line, we've got to be in a position to win the knockdowns. We've got that box midfield. The two should be looking to progress forward and support those front two when anything gets knocked down.
Mitchell for Charlton on the right-hand side in the Addicts half. Into the middle is Gillespie. Edwards again available to the left. Nothing in front of Edwards. Has to come back and inside to Gillespie. Mitchell wants it across the other side, but as does Edwards to the left. Ball forward this time to Campbell. Faced up by Bate, and then just to avoid that challenge, works the ball back to Gillespie. Again, has got Mitchell available to his right. Still inside the Charlton half. Mitchell takes one on one challenge and then loses out in the second one to Barry. There was nothing available. He started to move forward and nobody made a run for him, so he almost ran up a cul-de-sac there, Zach Mitchell. Charlton get away with it. The throws worked across to Gillespie, who now finds Edwards on his left. Again, Stockport pressing, trying to deny Charlton space. Ball's worked back to Gillespie, forward to Doherty. Turns away from trouble. Looks at Ramsey on his right. Slightly heavy ball. Oh, and then Ramsey had
a that's hurt.
Dig in from Toure, and it's left Ramsey in a lot of pain down in front of us.
Yeah, that would suggest, I hate to say this, but that reaction would suggest something's popped or clicked, or because there wasn't that great deal of contact that made
knee on knee, I think.
Is it? Okay,
yeah.
Well, they are quite painful, I have to say. And things that look innocuous from TV camera angles and in replays tend to not be. You know, I've been on the end of some studs on the ankle that don't look a great deal in motion from a camera's perspective, that leave you in a lot of discomfort. So
looking at that again, I think Ramsey had planted his foot and
twisty,
and with the knee on knee, I think that it's twisted underneath him, and he looks in a lot of pain.
When you get a reaction like that, normally something internally, because anything that pops or twists, and I'm talking about cartilage here or a ligament of such, it's excruciating. I've had an ACL tear, and I've had cartilage go, and it's excruciating. And that reaction, and I'm saying this praying that it's nothing other than a knee on knee tell, because I take that. As much discomfort that causes.
No, but it's that foot that was planted is the worrying issue.
Yeah, and I know how mine happened, and look, hopefully Kane's all right, and he jumps up and he runs this off. But you don't normally see a reaction from a player like that unless they're in real discomfort.
He's sitting up, Kane Ramsey. But, still receiving attention as Charlton players just around the referee having a discussion, I think is probably the politest thing to say. I don't think they feel that they've had the rub of the green in terms of decisions so far in this game. But obviously the penalty being the key one there. Referee giving some explanations to his credit. Whether they'll accept those is another issue entirely.
I'll go back to I'd want that if that was the other end. I would want that as a penalty. I'd be claiming that as a penalty.
Oh, yeah.
Keeper's made no contact for the player, and if he doesn't make the contact on the player and just jumps up in the air and that header goes beyond the opposition goalkeeper and the player gets brought down, you would be saying that if the referee didn't give us that penalty, we would equally argue that is unjust and unfair. So I'm going to see both perspectives of the managers after the game, because I think Nathan will say it's harsh, and I think Challingham will say no, absolutely. But what I will say, putting that decision to one side, we have actually created opportunities, and if you look back to some of our games recently, Stevenage and Bristol Rovers, we've struggled to create opportunities in open play. We're not struggling to create opportunities here today. Hadai's made a couple of great saves. We've been on the front foot. We've had dangerous balls flash across the 6-yard box. We've had the save from Anderson's header. You know, we have had opportunities where we've had a numerical advantage and we've not been clinical enough in front of the ball. The ball from Campbell to, from Anderson. No, it was the Campbell to Campbell. You know, that was played 4 yards too far. That should have been an end product. It should have been an attempt at goal. So it's not like we're struggling to create here. And that's the encouraging thing.
Just giving the news that Ramsey's up on his feet, but holding his head in his hands in a lot of pain. And Charlton are going to make the change, and Edmonds Green is coming on. It might be Terry Small, but Edmonds Green, probably more naturally right-footed, is coming on. And Kane Ramsey will take no further part in the game. So it'll be interesting to see whether Mitchell stays in the centre and how Charlton line up. Maybe we'll go for the back three, or Edmonds Green will just slot in on that right side as a like-for-like replacement. But at the moment, it's Alex Mitchell on the ball, out to Edmonds Green. Back to Mitchell, and there's one for Anderson, trying to touch it into Edmonds Green's path. He manages to catch up with it before it goes out of play. Campbell could have played it first time, instead held on to it. Therese Campbell. Little ball looking for Godden, but Godden had made the run and it was behind him. So Stockport tidy up back to their keeper.
Too safe. We were too safe there. Tyrese Campbell played a wonderful ball earlier on in the game, round the corner first time. It needed to be done again. Godden made a brilliant run off the shoulder, and the first touch took him away from goal, back into a safe area for Stockport, and the first time ball round the corner would have been very damaging. Missed opportunity there.
Ball's back with Mitchell on the right-hand side of the centre halves, out to Edmonds Green. Looks to go down the line, Edmonds Green. Ball infield to Anderson. Holds the ball up, picks up Doherty in support. Inside the Stockport half. Just behind him is Mitchell. Gillespie to the left of the centre circle. Ball forward to Campbell. Stockport sitting deep and then pushing when not on the ball. Charlton work the ball back to Mitchell. Sends it long now up towards Anderson. A flick on, looking for Godden, but cleared away by Horsfall, only as far as Edmonds Green. Cuts inside Edmonds Green. Still try to touch it into Campbell's path, but it's cleared away by Bate. Up to Wotton, but that's a good interception by Mitchell. It's out for a Stockport throw, just inside their own half, I think. Not sure how far inside their own half. Difficult angle to tell. But just in front of the dugouts, it'll be Toure with the throw for Stockport County on their left-hand side. Still waiting to take the throw. Now he goes down the line, looking for Wotton. Little nudge in the back of Doherty. Runs through to Mitchell. Edwards across here, gets his head to it. Anderson flicking it on, trying to find Therese Campbell. Alan Campbell hunting it down as well. Just missed his header and stayed on the floor after connection with Connolly.
Well, it's a head injury, so why are you not stopping the game?
Eventually stops the game.
I thought there was an obligation from a referee that you have to stop it immediately if it's a head injury. Mine, that's harsh, given him you're not fit to referee, but that's a poor decision.
He's given a penalty against us. What do you expect, Brown?
Yeah, no, fair enough. Fair enough. But what I will say is...
I think just going back to that, sorry, Brown, just going back to that decision, I think Alan Campbell was slightly fortunate he didn't make any contact with, I think it was Connolly, because I think there would have definitely been a free kick in the opposite direction. As it was, he missed Connolly, and Connolly just caught him on the top of the head on the follow-through. And that's what's caused the Charlton man to go down. We'll restart with a bounce back to Stockport in possession.
I mean, it did look like quite a nasty rick to the neck there. I think the referee, if you've seen that, you've got to stop that immediately. That could have been quite nasty. But, you know, but there you go. He carried on.
And Stockport send the ball forward. Gillespie with the header away, but it'll be picked up by Pye under pressure. Swings it forward. Mitchell can be pressured by Wotton. Gets his header out to Edmonds Green. Goes down the line, but can't keep it in. Try to swing his body to
we can't
connect.
What we can't do is get caught up in a scrappy game. If this goes a little bit more direct, a little bit, you know, we win the first header, drops down, and they pressurise well. We've got to maintain what we've been doing, which is getting our foot on the ball and actually trying to play. Because if you take the goal against out of this first half, we're the better team, without any shadow of a doubt. We've created more opportunities. But you don't want to get caught into this game becoming scrappy. Got to get hold of the ball and keep hold of the ball.
Charlton pressing Stockport back, but still in possession of the visiting side. Connolly on the right. Goes long, looking for Wotton. Gets his head to it. I think he might have flicked off Gillespie, and Mitchell's going to have to deal with this. And looked like he was fouled in the process by Powell, who pleads his innocence. It looked like a little tug back from this direction at least. The referee concurs. It'll be a free kick to Charlton on the edge of the D of the Addicks penalty area. Slightly more of the Valley now bathed in sunshine, in shadow. Only really half of the Curbishley stand left in sunlight as Charlton. Ball into the middle, Doherty. To the left of him is Gillespie. Further left, Edwards. Nothing ahead of him again. Campbell trying to make that space. Instead it comes inside to Therese Campbell. Touches it wide of Connolly. Slides in and gets the challenge in. But out of play for a Charlton throw. Edwards trying to up the tempo. Throws it backwards though to Gillespie. Across to Mitchell. Alex Mitchell alongside a new centre-half partner with Jones out. He finds him again with Gillespie. Out to the left is Terry Taylor. Taylor, ball in field to Doherty. Tried to find Edmonds Green, but left it too late and allowed the challenge to come in. But good recovery from Gillespie, and he finds Edmonds Green on the right. Trying to send the ball into the channel, looking for Godden. Interception from Toure, be a Charlton throw. Again, quickly taken back to Mitchell. Into the centre, Gillespie's got Edwards available on the left if he wants to use him. Turns back the other way to find Mitchell once more. Mitchell, a little touch forward to Anderson. Under pressure, goes right to Edmonds Green. Anderson goes for the ball into the corner. Picked out Godden instead. And Godden then couldn't get on the return. Stockport clear it away. There's attendance of 13,711 with 1,200 Stockport fans making the journey down. Charlton in possession with Gillespie on the left. Taylor ahead of him. Further ahead is Edwards. Looking to take on Mingy. We'll touch inside to Campbell. Back to Taylor. Taylor turns away from Powell. Bringing it forward to Edwards. Edwards, ball into the box. Looking for Godden. It goes beyond Godden, but it might be picked up here by Edmonds Green on the right-hand side. Edmonds Green's got Doherty behind. Doherty swings the ball into the box. Godden looks for it. Gets there. Gets the shot away. Blocked. Campbell tries to lift it back towards Therese Campbell. Cleared out to Edwards. Therese Campbell once more on the left. Taking on Mingy, back in on his right. Still Therese Campbell takes a shot. Oh, deflected just wide of the post. It'll be a corner to Charlton.
Yeah, and that's where I think he's at his most threatening, when he's got a ball at his feet, driving at people, putting them on the back foot and being able to jink inside or outside to create a little bit of space to get his shot away. That's Therese Campbell I'm talking about. You know, look for that wide area. He's shaping up to go down the line to create that space back inside to get his shot away, deflected wide.
Corner to Charlton, on Charlton left in front of the scoreboard. It's a deep one, looking for Mitchell. It's got there first is Horsfall, and it's come off of Mitchell's head and away for it. Well, there you go. Well, that was a goal kick. Right?
I agree with you. Yeah, that was a goal kick, and Stockport, they've not complained that much actually as a group of players, but I thought that was flicked off their defender onto Mitchell and out for a goal kick. I agree.
100%. But this Charlton corner, they're going to take it. Taylor comes across, this time on the right-hand side in front of the security box to send this into the area. Not quite as deep this time, and flicked away. Campbell with the header back into towards the 6-yard box, headed away by Connolly. It'll be a Charlton throw on the left-hand side.
Yeah,
Edwards going to take this and maybe launch this into the box as Charlton keep everybody forward. Therese Campbell looked interested for a short one, but it's been sent away as Edwards prepares to launch this in. In it comes. Powell with the header away, but straight back to Edwards. He's got a chance to cross it, does so into the box. Toure with the header away, and Bate the first to react for Stockport to clear it away long, but only as far as Taylor. Taylor to his left is Edwards. Edwards with space to move into if he chooses to. Picks out Anderson ahead of him. Anderson tried to find Campbell, but he was under pressure from a clutch of Stockport players. We had 5 minutes of added time here in the first half. Taylor sends it down the left-hand side, asking Campbell, Therese Campbell that is, to chase it, but he can't catch up with it, and it's away for a throw-in.
You've got to try and flick that off the defender for a throw-in. You're not going to keep that in, but if I go back to that ball into Anderson, which is into a tight area, and his first touch just gets up, it bobbles down and then up away from him, and then that affects the ball forward, which is placed at the wrong side of Therese Campbell, which allows the defender to come in. Those are all the little things that you have to tidy up. because we're not as potent as we should be with the possession and the territory we've had today, because we aren't tidying up those little bits of technical skill.
Stockport knock it forward. Connolly looking for Wootton. Gillespie across there, just guides him. I say guide, he sort of helped with the whole chunk of his shirt to steer him out of the way for a throw-in.
I understand what he's doing, but he fights the player too much for me, and that's what led to the goal in the first place. He was so intent on getting the centre forward not to win the header that neither of them won it, and it caused chaos. He just wants to fight the player too much for me. I think he can do more to get down the sides and in front, and that then leaves question marks for the centre forward, in terms of what he's got to do. At the moment, he's all right fighting.
Mitchell for Charlton sends it forward, looking for Godden, headed away by Pyatt. Taylor on the follow-up, and then Therese Campbell finds Anderson to his right. Romani Edmonds-Green back to Anderson. No option ahead, so goes backwards to Mitchell and inside to Gillespie. Out to his left is Taylor. I think he was aiming for Edwards, but Taylor intercepted it. And it's back with Gillespie. And once again, Mitchell takes over in the centre. Edmonds-Green on the right-hand side. Being forced backwards by Barry. So has to pick out Mitchell once more.
Yeah, but
work it across on the opposite side. Edwards has made a great run on that left-hand side, but Gillespie has gone across to Edmonds-Green instead and almost got beyond Toure, who just stuck a leg out and guides it away for a Charlton throw.
Yeah, it's interesting because tactically they've got a 4-2-3-1, and when the three are pressing behind the striker, the two can't take care of everybody in midfield. So we have got a spare midfielder advanced of the ball. It's can they wriggle themselves free a bit better than they are. It was Alan Campbell in this instance who was the free player. We just couldn't find him.
Long throw coming in from Edwards, headed up in the air by Powell. Doherty tries to head it back into the danger area, but he gets his direction wrong, and it drifts out of play for a Stockport goal kick. We've had 2.5, nearly 3 minutes actually of the added 5 in this first half.
We certainly
remains a goal up to the visitors.
We certainly don't deserve to be losing. That's for sure. But we have conceded a very, very poor goal, and it probably will see Stockport go down the tunnel at half-time with that 1 goal advantage. But I don't think we can be discouraged as a team. I do think there's a goal out there for us today, but it might be that you need a little bit more physical presence up top. So we might see Miles a little bit earlier than if we were winning this game.
Stockport send it forward. Barry collects. It's now worked out to the left-hand side, and Toure back inside to Bate. Toure once more on the left. Foot in from Anderson. Still back, Toure though. Into Bate, and he's dumped to the floor by Doherty. It'll be a free kick to Stockport. Yeah,
it's exactly what they need. It's good from Bate. Just got his body there first. Forced Doherty to try and win the ball because we're trying to be on the front foot. And he's won the free kick, which should see Stockport in at half-time with the advantage. Yeah, it's clever.
Free kick on this Stockport left-hand side. It's about halfway inside the Charlton here, half, and 3 or 4 yards inside from the touchline. Touch to Bate, who sends it in towards the Charlton penalty area, cleared away by Anderson, and as far as Connolly, who lifts it back across the penalty area. Taylor will challenge Barry, and he comes away with the ball. Taylor, it's a good ball out to Anderson, but to Therese Campbell, trying to get on the end of it. Toure did well to slide in. Throw to Charlton, quickly taken into Anderson. Ball backwards to Edmonds-Green. Wootton in the way. Charlton throw. Worked across to Gillespie. Further and left is Edwards. Ball down the line to Campbell. He's having a shirt pulled off his back, but it was his touch that went out of play, so it'll be a throw into Stockport. Referee doesn't allow that to be taken. We've had the 5 minutes of added time, and the blows up for half-time. And the half-time scoreline doesn't make great reading for Charlton. It's a goal given to them from the penalty spot by Louis Barry after Mannion is adjudged to have followed through on Nick Powell after defensive error from Charlton that allowed the ball to bounce through into the penalty area. Powell trying to catch up with it. All he did was catch up with Mannion. Question asked, I suppose, whether or not it was Powell who initiated the contact on Mannion, and that's a debate for everybody else to have to decide whether or not there was a justified penalty. But justified or not, the penalty has been given. It's the visitors who have the lead, and as Brownie said that it's a game we shouldn't be behind. We don't deserve to be behind, but we are.
Yeah, and look, one thing I think is we've not been clinical enough with the possession and final third entries we've had. We've had opportunities in that game. The best was the Anderson header. It was a very good save from Madai, the Stockport goalkeeper. I don't recall Mannion having anything else to do other than pick the ball out of the net for the penalty kick, which was an excellent dispatch from Louis Barry. But the point being that you can see why Stockport have been so successful on the road and why they are a tough nut to crack, because you know they do defend well and they don't really gift you goals like we've gifted them, and that's an issue, and it's been an issue down here at the Valley for many seasons now, and I've said many times on Charlton TV that we become a little bit soft in how we approach giving goals away, and I thought we got better. And we have got better. The truth is we have got better under Nathan, but there was just a hint there of what it's been like over the last 3 or 4 seasons. And you've had 2 centre-halves, both misjudged the flight of the ball, or certainly one's fought the centre-forward and not tried to win the header, which is criminal in the first place. It's then bounced between the one who's on the cover. He couldn't turn quick enough and looked ever so slow on the turn, actually. Then there was a decision by the goalkeeper to stay deep. Then he stuttered to come out, and that's led to the collision. And in my opinion, Tel, and we can debate it all you like as fans and TV studio guests or whatever, it's a penalty, you know, for me. I'd want it the other way. The goalkeeper's hesitated, he's not made contact with the ball, and he's caught the player. So therefore it's a penalty. And it's a shame, because that performance doesn't deserve the team to be going down the tunnel 1-0 down. It's a 0-0 game at best, at worst, sorry. And actually if we have got a bit more quality in the final third, we might even have scored ourselves. But that's not how the game's sitting. We're 1-0 down, and there's a very important 45 minutes coming up. But what I would say is I wouldn't be discouraged if I was in that dressing room. I'd be angry in the manner that we've given away the goal and the fact that we're losing games that we shouldn't be. But we've got an opportunity in the next 45 minutes to turn this around, and actually if we do score an equaliser, the way that the Valley can react when we're on the front foot and you do equalise could lead us to being very much on the front foot. We have got options. We've got pace on the bench in Kaheem Dixon. We've got Mika and Bick, who we know has scored multiple goals in the 21s, and we've got obviously Miles. Now I wouldn't put too much expectation on Miles, but what he does add is a physical presence, and that's something we've lacked a little bit up front today. We do look a little bit short. Even when we get the ball in wide areas and we deliver crosses, you're asking Alan Campbell, you're asking Karoy Anderson, you've got Matty Godden and Torres Campbell. They're not really aerial threats, although our best opportunity of the game was Karoy Anderson from a set piece, and that's one area that I do think has looked better today. Terry Taylor's delivery has been first class. I wish he'd stop doing the round the back one. It's a bit predictable. It's a very difficult cross to place, and Alex Mitchell's not beating his man at the far post. I'd rather see him whip one in at the near post, funny enough, and have 2 attacking the near post like the Karoy Anderson opportunity.
Chaos.
Yeah, just I think if you can attack that area and it's whipped in like that is so hard to defend. A big looping ball to the back post is much easier for a centre-half to adjust, get round the back and win a flick to get it beyond and out of danger. But yeah, there's enough encouraging play in that first half and enough final third entries to suggest that there's an equaliser in this, if not an equaliser and a flurry to go and win it. But we can't give goals away like that. We just can't, not against any level of opposition.
Well, there we are. That's the thoughts of the legend that is Steve Brown. And sticking with the legend that is Steve Brown, it's been a busy few weeks for you, my friend, with the Ex-Players Association keeping you on your toes. And
just a bit, Tel. Just a bit.
And we've had plenty of ex-players visiting the Valley, and some real legends as well as yourself.
So I'm not a real legend.
I said as well as yourself. You see again. You don't allow me the time.
You're such a wicked man. I know exactly what you mean.
Just don't allow me the time.
You're with a real legend up at Barnsley, no doubt.
People think it's you being argumentative. I'm telling you, it's just like that penalty. No, mate. I know. Look, everybody around the club are looking to see what you and Kevin Lisby are doing on this Ex-Players Association, and are in awe of what you've managed to achieve, and none more so than the fact that you brought 2 South African legends across to South London. Let's just have a look. They visited the training ground while they were over here. Let's have a look, see what they had to say about that. This is Messrs Bartlett and Fish.
It's been great. Obviously, it brings back a lot of memories, some fun times as well. But yeah, it's great to see also the improvement, a lot of improvement since we've been here. A lot of different buildings for the academy and obviously the ladies teams as well.
Need to echo Sean's words. It's nostalgic coming here and seeing how, as Sean mentioned there, how the facility has grown. I think that is the process of the club, how it's grown since we've left here. And yeah, it's just enjoyable to walk through the old building. I don't remember much. He remembers a lot more. He remembers curbs opposite. I don't remember it too much. Yeah. But it's just it's wonderful being here and wishing the club a lot of success.
To have a well-manicured field like this, I think we would have enjoyed training on it. But yeah, a lot of things have changed and improved for the better.
Just coming here to the training ground and being at the Valley, you try and tell people, you played in we'll see that you played in the English Premier League, you played with Charlton, this and that, and then walking into the Valley on the weekend, and it's a bigger experience than I've actually ever given it credit for. So my time being back here makes me more appreciative of not only what I achieved as an individual, but my teammates and the people that I worked with, and that's obviously including Curbs, Mervyn Dank, and Peacock. So and the owners, the fans, everyone that was involved. So it's very, very. I am more appreciative now of what my experience of Charlton than I was 3 days ago before I came back here. So very grateful once again.
And even Saturday, it just brought back so many memories. And I think, like Mark has expressed as well, as an individual, you only realize afterwards what impact or what you've done where Charlton is concerned. And for me, obviously, probably football career-wise, the best 6 years to play in the Premier League against top quality players. It's one of the things I think a lot of people can't say. And we've managed to do that at a great club. And obviously, the club itself has got a long history with South African players being part of the club. So for me, we're just more than happy to be part of that. It was good to be back in front of the North Stand. That is I think the vibe and the buzz of the Charlton fans at the Valley, and they always get everybody going, reminiscing about obviously scoring that volley against Leicester City. So no, it was absolutely awesome, and we do appreciate everything obviously the club has done, but even the fans, the way they received us, I think obviously showed that we did a little bit of something here when we were here at Charlton.
And I think important to create a lot more awareness of the ex-Charlton players club, what do you call it? That's players. It's nice that we were here. Nice to see some of our teammates yesterday at the function, at the launch. But to get more of the players back and appreciate the club's history is changing day by day, obviously. But to appreciate the players that were part of playing for Charlton over the years, I think we're wishing the ex-players program a lot of success, but it takes all of us to be part of it and all of us to play a part in it. So very grateful for being here again, but it takes all of us to make sure that we can give respect or give honors to honor people that were Charlton players.
So there we are, that was Sean Bartlett and Mark Fish coming back to the Valley after a far too long a gap to come and see us. And Brownie, well done for that, by the way. And also, it was an absolute privilege to interview those two guys up in the lounge.
And funny enough, wasn't the lady that operated on Mark in there?
Yes.
Well, I don't want to go into the story too much, but that was a lovely moment, wasn't it? And you were privileged to be part of that. And I did hear about that story, and I did think, that's unbelievable, isn't it? 25 years later. But I went, look, there's other people to thank. Gavin Carter was very, very important piece of the jigsaw in getting Mark and Sean over. And we had a lovely evening out with them on the Friday, catching up. And do you know what? As much as I say to you, it's hard work, and it is hard work. I'm not going to say it's not. There are things that are going on and happening that are a privilege for me. to be a part of. And one of them is meeting up with old teammates like that I just wouldn't get the opportunity to do. Walking around the training ground with Mike Hammond a couple of weeks ago and seeing how Mike was walking around, it was a different Mike than Mike on the street that I go out for a drink with. Memories just, you could see they were just flooding back for him, and he stood up an inch taller and puffed his chest out, and I think you kind of forget what you have achieved, because becoming a professional player is a privilege, and it's a big thing. You've beaten the numbers just becoming a professional. Whether you're successful or not, or how long your career is irrelevant. You've beaten the numbers by becoming a professional, and you've beaten even more numbers by being a professional at Charlton Athletic, which notorious is normally in League One, Championship, or Premier League. So it's been outstanding for me in many ways.
And it's I don't know if it's a less excuse me, a less known issue, or certainly one that's not talked about. I'm going to have to take a drink in a second. But when you're a professional footballer, actually, I'd say a footballer at any level, and it's the one thing I think that you can't replicate. You can play football in the garden, you can play football in the back, in a field around the corner. You can still play football. You can still run around. So physically, you can still do stuff that keeps you fit. But when you're a footballer of any level, and you almost have, with the number of people in the squad, which let's say for example is 30, but in a professional game it's considerably more with the under 21s and what have you. But let's say it's 20 odd. You've got 20 odd players and their other halves and families that you are friends with.
Yeah.
So you've got a circle of friends while you're playing that's in the region of about 50 or 60 potentially.
Yeah.
And when you stop playing, you lose that circle. You lose that camaraderie. You lose a huge amount that you normally take for granted. And mentally, that must really test. I know it's one of the things that I hugely miss when I stopped playing. So when you're around that area for so many years and then suddenly it's gone. All right. If you're successful post football, that's different, but there are so many players out there who aren't, and I say aren't, who go back to normal work, as it were, that miss all that.
It's not different if you're successful, because do you know what? I'm going to take it back even one stage from that. It's not just at the end of your career. When a good friend of yours leaves to join another football club because his time at your club's finished, invariably your time with that person ends as well. It's not just about ending a career, it's about you have a camaraderie whilst you're at a football club that goes pretty quickly, because that player goes on to have another camaraderie within the dressing room he's joined. When I left Reading, I didn't come back here. I haven't been down in that home dressing room since I left this football club, bizarrely. I don't even know what it looks like. I can't even remember what it was like when I was a player.
You need to come on a tour.
I haven't been on a tour, and I'm told the tours are spectacular.
Absolutely.
The fella has got a lot of knowledge that runs those tours.
So, yeah.
He doesn't take any nonsense either. Right, but the point being that
don't fact check it.
The point being that that's one of the saddest things about being a professional footballer, is that you have and you generate some incredible friendships that die when you leave the football club, not just the end of your career. And actually what the reunion did was got 35 players in a room, and actually it was brilliant to witness. Again, I talk about Sean and Mark being isolated cases, but to see a lot of the faces that turned up that day and to speak to everybody and find out what they're doing and where their lives are at, is a pleasure. And it's something we're going to continue to strive for in terms of bringing players back. And 35, we hope to become 50, we hope to become 75 over time. And we want players to take advantage of the fact that we have an ownership and a board now that will accommodate you.
But the point I was probably badly making was that, as well as it being an invaluable addition to the matchday experience for fans, and knowing that these ex-heroes are coming back, or no, not ex even here, but their heroes are coming back. From a player perspective, from a mental health issue, I think you're doing a huge amount for players who might feel a little bit left out, might feel a little bit detached.
Yeah, well, we've still got a long way to go on that front.
Oh, granted, I'm sure that's true.
But that doesn't, I want people to know that doesn't necessarily reflect on what we're doing. Some players don't want to come back. Some players don't want to sign into the link and leave their details. And supporters have to understand that. but we will do everything in our power to give everybody opportunity to sign up. We will try and contact players. I'm just about to send some, well, I'm not personally, that was a terrible way to phrase that, but the club is just about to send out its first heritage caps, and we're focusing on the players that are in their 90s, of which Eddie Ferman is one. And we'll try and get our cap to Eddie. And so hopefully that's something we'll see in the next few weeks. But, we're striving to do better, and we'll get better, and we'll make more contacts along the way.
Well, teams are back out. Charlton have made another change. Coming on is...
I thought this might be the case.
Luke Berry, Alan Campbell making way.
Yeah. I thought Alan was excellent against Birmingham, but he didn't have an impact that I think he'd hoped he'd have had in that first 45 minutes.
It'll be the substitute, Luke Berry, over the ball to get us back underway here at the Valley. Charlton now attacking the covered end, which is bathed in sunshine as the sun moves round South London. Back to Gillespie, who sends it forward, headed away. Edmonds Green well forward there, but couldn't direct his pass to another edge shot, and it drifts down the play for a goal kick, which I'm sure Edi will move across, and so he's not in the sunshine, because where he was faced straight into the sun. And
he has to get
referee allowed Stockport to sort of let the game drift in that first half. He's making it clear that he's not going to allow it in the second, as Edi finally gets the goal kick away. Gillespie meets it, sent forward by Norwood, only as far as Edmonds Green, who sends the ball into that right hand channel, asking Godden to pursue it out there, but he's not going to get there before Pye, who sends it away.
That's the issue with the box midfield, is that a right back can look up and it's very square in front of him and no width whatsoever, so all you can do is feed it in a channel and ask your team to pressurise the ball.
It's good work by Anderson to win the ball back for Charlton. Comes Doherty, now Taylor across to Edwards, cuts inside Edwards, Taylor still in space. Ball worked out to Therese Campbell on this left hand side, looking to take on Mingy. Cuts inside on his right, still Therese Campbell. It's a lovely ball into Taylor, edge of the penalty area, trying to make space for himself, and a dinked ball across, took a deflection and then comfortably into the arms of Edi.
Yeah, wrong choice, weak side. I think ball back to Campbell would have been the right one, because that's the guy you want in possession around the 18-yard box to draw free kicks, to beat his man. He is the one for me that can create that little 1v1 battle and get away from a play.
Taylor does well to win the ball back for Charlton after a risky move out from the back. And Taylor once again in possession, out to the right hand side is Edmonds Green. Forced backwards to Mitchell, who gets the ball forward, but straight to Toure. And Bate inside to looking for Powell, beaten to it by Doherty. Powell stays on the floor as Edwards tries to send Therese Campbell on his way down the left, and Therese Campbell will get there as well. Cuts back inside on his right foot, trying to touch it back to Edwards. Sliding Jay Mingy gets the ball out for a Charlton throw, quickly taken. Edwards gets it back from Taylor into the centre, and Doherty. Gillespie in support, and Taylor stayed in position. Now out to Edwards once more. Ball in field looking for Berry, but it's gone behind him and it's allowed Stockport to clear, but that's good work from Taylor again to win it back for Charlton. Edwards down to Therese Campbell, who looked to go beyond Connolly, who just clipped him, and down he goes. It's a free kick to Charlton.
Yeah, I'll be trying. I don't know how you can work this into this formation, but Campbell's got to be receiving balls to feet and facing up to players, not just working in the channel. You want him to receive the ball at feet, facing the defender and forcing him backwards. That's where he's at his most dangerous. 3 times already in the second half, wide left area, ball at his feet, doubled up on him immediately or dived in. They're scared of what he's got as an attacking player when it's at his feet facing the Stockport goal.
Taylor swing this in from the Charlton left with his right foot. In it comes. It's a decent cross, and again Anderson just missed his header. And coming in at the back post was Gillespie, and he couldn't get on the end of it either, but it's another wicked cross, but to no avail.
It doesn't get any better than that, Tel. I couldn't draw you a line and say if a ball got fizzed across that line, more often than not you're going to score. This is one of the best deliveries you'll see. It's bouncing middle of the 6-yard box, and again we've done our level best to avoid it rather than get on the end of it.
Well, Stockport again taking their time. Crowd getting restless. Referee this time allows them to carry on. Taylor though meets the dropping ball. Doherty can't control it. Bate brings it forward for Stockport. Little touch to Powell. Try to send Wotton on his way through the middle, but this time Mannion first to it, and then Wotton just leave the foot in there.
I took my eye off it. I just had a little.
I don't think that. I think it was more a case for you that just allowed Mannion to slide into it rather than actually stamped him in. I hope I'm wrong. As the ball was sent through by Powell. Yeah, I don't think it's just Mannion sliding into him rather than. So he didn't get out of the way rather than make any serious contact. So I don't think there was anything for the referee to get involved with.
It's got nothing to do with Wotton, that one. He just momentum slid Mannion into Wotton. Nothing. He can't jump out the way of that either. So nothing doing there. Just get on with the game basically when Mannion's fit enough to get up.
Charlton trying to do that, but the ball to Anderson's picked off by Toure, and now Bate to his left-hand side. Gets it back, Bate from Barry. Now Barry again on the left. Foot in from Doherty, just misses its target. So Stockport still have possession with Toure. Tried a little back heel to try and find Bate, who was overlapping, but in the way was Edmonds Green. It'll be a throw in though to Stockport, halfway inside the Charlton half on the Stockport left in front of the Kerbishley stand. Bate turns away from Doherty, goes backwards to Horsfall.
Got to get the line up here. When it goes back into that back line, we've got to be a bit more alert than that. You've got to drive the back line up, get the midfield 10 yards higher up as well. We didn't move at all there. Ball went into their back line, and our back line's not forced any pressure. You can't expect your midfield to cover that much ground if you stay deep. So therefore it's just going to sit in front of our back four, and they're going to have a little bit of joy playing into their midfield. As soon as it goes back 15-20 yards, we need a little 5-10 yard spurt from our back line, pushing the midfield higher to be able to press a bit.
Edmonds Green did really well to win the throw off Toure. That long throw's cleared away by Pine, and Charlton take the throw, work it back to Mannion. Gillespie, Edwards to his left. Edwards got Berry in space in front of him. Berry looking to send Therese Campbell on his way, but just not too much on that. So now Horsfall to come across and clear it away, but it'll be a Charlton throw.
Should have channeled it to he went inside line, tried to curl it, tried to be too precise. It should have just drifted it down the line outside the 18-yard box, allow Campbell to get there first, and we hold territory in our final third. No need to put any diagonal on that at all.
Doherty in the centre circle, being forced backwards to Mitchell. Mitchell brings it forward. Good ball to Anderson in space. Anderson out to the right and Edmonds Green. First time ball into the box is too rushed. May have taken a bobble just as he was about to strike it, but it needed perhaps the touch first to set himself. And the cross drifts away for a goal kick.
Yeah, again, you know, the mentality of that. You haven't got a man within 15 yards of you. We've actually manoeuvred the ball into really good areas into Anderson. He's found a player wide right. No, they're not even trying to close him down. I don't understand the decision to cross that. And you are aiming at 3. That's... Now the referee is going to get criticised because that's awful. Yeah, that's two Stockport players running into each other. That's a poor decision, and you know, I've been lenient with him because I think he deserves it. But that is an incredible decision. I'll just see the replay.
It was Wotton colliding. I mean, I think he might have connected with Gillespie while he was in the air, but
I don't know how that's a free kick to Stockport. I've got to be honest. He got sandwiched by two players, left and right, and just stood his ground. I don't know what he can do, Gillespie, there to get out of the way of that. But nevertheless, it's been given. Yeah, but just going back to that cross from Edmonds Green, too early, no composure, no quality on the delivery, and you're aiming at Godden, Anderson and Campbell. So I think when that's the case, you know how difficult it is to hit a first-time ball into an area that's so accurate that those three can get on the end of it. Take a touch, have a little look at the runs they're making, and try and find a player that's losing their man in the middle. But we've lacked that in the final third today, Tel. We've lacked any cohesion with quality, or we've lacked the quality. And we say that an awful lot. And I know it's League One, it's the old third division, but you still should be able to put a ball into an area. You still should be able to pass on the right side of a player that's waiting to receive, safe side. You know, we're not at a level here that you shouldn't be able to do that. And too many times you see rushed passes or crosses or balls into players that are just not in the right areas.
Well, he's not missing any action. Mingy's stayed down. It was him who collided with Wotton that created the Shrewsbury free kick, which we're still scratching our heads over. Mingy will receiving physio treatment, so he'll have to come off.
I hope he adds the correct amount of time on here. I always think that injuries early on in a half don't necessarily get the correct amount of minutes added on.
Similar to injuries in the added time, you mean?
Very similar, you know, and substitutions are supposed to be an automatic 30 seconds, aren't they? And they'll concentrate on that, but this has been a good 2 to 3 minutes here. Now, I'm not sure you'll get 3 minutes added on at the end.
Well, he is up on his feet and he's walking across the ex-Charlton man. I mean, he played for a season. He was on our youth books between 2019 and 20. We got him from West Ham in 2019. Made 2 appearances, got a goal in the EFL Trophy against Everton. So he made his mark at Charlton.
Qualifies as a former player.
There we are. So Brownie's off now. He's gone. And Stockport send the ball into the box. Edwards with an important header away from Powell, and he's pursuing it again, and then Powell just levers into him.
Do you know what?
Edwards goes to ground.
I absolutely love that attitude. He had no right to chase after that, Edwards. He flicked it on over Powell. Powell was favourite to get there, but the attitude of Edwards was, I'm gonna hunt that down, and if I, you know, and hopefully I can do a 1v1 job on Powell. But not only did he not have to do the 1v1 job, he nicked in front of Powell, caught him by surprise, and drew the free kick. Absolutely love that attitude in a player's head, that he wants to win that ball, regardless of where it's dropped down.
Mannion's free kick sent forward. Godden will jump, gets a good header on it as well. Campbell just couldn't take it in his control. Stockport clear, but Gillespie sends it forward again. Campbell this time does get to it on the left-hand side. Edwards in support. Again lifts the ball into the box, but again probably should have taken a touch. It's come off the top of his boot and straight to the keeper.
Yeah, and I think we're rushing crosses. Like, you're not crossing to 2 6'3" centre forwards here. You're crossing to Godden. Campbell's come out, so now you're crossing into Berry breaking into the box, or Anderson breaking into the box, or Doherty. So can we take a touch and just pick our spots better? We're not even giving the guys inside the penalty box a chance to get on the end of anything at the moment.
Stockport clearance goes sailing out of play on the Charlton right-hand side. Quick throw taken by Mitchell, back into Mannion. Ball forward to Taylor. He's going to be under pressure here. Taylor turns away from one Stockport player and Powell, but then gets caught in possession by Powell, and Stockport have it back. Powell will attack the penalty area. Ball into the box, cleared away by Mitchell. It'll be a Stockport corner. Charlton just guilty of delaying or dallying on the ball and allowing Stockport to pink their pockets.
He was looking for a pass, Tel. He was looking for a pass, the movement in front of him, but he wasn't looking long enough. He was looking only within 10 or 15 yards. And you know what? If you get to a point where you can't see a pass, but you know the pressure's coming, there's nothing wrong with that, just flicking that down the line into the channel and letting the front two pressurise wherever that ball goes. What you don't want to do is get caught in possession and give away a corner.
The corner's in front of the scoreboard. Looking across there, it looks like it's... well, it was Barry, and there could be a yellow card coming here. So I think it's Barry over in that corner with Bates.
Yeah, too obvious. Deserves a booking.
No, it's Norwood, in fact, over in that corner. It's furthest point away from us. But he has left the corner now to Bates. Swings it across. Mannion will come and claims well, looking for options. And surely there's another block, this time coming in from Horsfall. Stands in the way of Mannion trying to take the get the clearance away, and he gets a booking for his trouble. Horsfall.
I'd like to see an equaliser in the next 10 minutes. I think you'd see a huge swing in the game if we were to equalise. You know, they're pulling out all the stops now, time wasting at corners, blocking the goalkeeper. I think if we could find an equaliser in the next 5 or 10 minutes, Stockport would be well pressed to hang on to a result. But as it stays 1-0.
Not if we give the ball away like that. Anderson does so. It's well read by, run back by Edmonds Green, and Anderson sharp in the challenge. Sends the ball down the right-hand side, but Therese Campbell can't keep it in. And again, Charlton players think that came off a Stockport player last, but nobody else tends to agree. Will be a Stockport throw on the left-hand side.
Yeah, very good challenge from Anderson. I like to see fair challenges like that. And it was we couldn't possibly tell you whether that was a Charlton throw or a Stockport throw. But 3 or 4 players did appeal. You've got to assume it took some kind of nick, but naked eye couldn't pick it up.
Well, Charlton about to make another change. See Miles Lieber warming up. Stripped off and ready. As Charlton get the throw after Stockport. Try to go switch it play, put too much on it. The Addicks have possession in the centre circle with Doherty. And the ball back to Taylor's a risky one, but he rescues the situation. And Gillespie finds Edwards to his left. Again, Charlton under a little bit of pressure from the pressing Stockport players. Work it across to Mitchell on the right.
Yeah, just thinking about Terry Taylor. Barely played any football, been out a long time. Just showing signs there of getting caught in possession and not physically being where he needs to be. How do you go about that? Edmonds Green in there and Small at right back if you need to change that position. We put Berry on already, so we're limited in what we can do.
Charlton working across to the left-hand side, and Edwards back to Doherty. Some good football in the centre, but it didn't come to anything between Anderson and Campbell. And Charlton struggling to find space.
Now we've got to get our midfielders free. Side to side's great, but you've got to get one of your midfielders free. We're overloaded in that area. Keep making them work. I know it doesn't feel like we're progressing anywhere. Keep making their guys work to cover off the 4 midfielders.
It's a big switch from Gillespie, which put Edmonds Green in a bit of trouble, and as a result, Charlton lose possession. And Doherty got possession back, and then the lunging challenge from Pye takes him out. There's another Stockport player in the book, and it's a free kick to Charlton just to the right of the... Anderson got a yellow card as well there for some reason.
Verbals, maybe?
Can only be that, can't it?
Yeah, verbals, maybe. But that was one of those ones where Doherty got there first, momentum takes him through, and you can tell from his reaction that that's just momentum and a Stockport player putting his body in the right spot at the right time. It's a booking, but no maliciousness in it whatsoever.
Taylor over the ball as Leeburn prepares to come on. And here's the chance from the covered end, and Charlton are going to make the change before the free kick, and it's Greg Doherty coming off, the Charlton captain. Hands the armband to Godden.
Well, I can only assume we're going to a front.
Please welcome number 11, Miles Lieber.
I'll see what we do here. Are we going into a...
Well, Campbell come out wide potentially.
Yeah. Back 3. Edmonds Green into a back 3, but I can't work out the right wing back. Campbell maybe dropping. I don't know.
We'll sort that out after the free kick was taken by Taylor in towards Leeburn, who's pulled to the ground in the box or on the edge of the box, and then there's a foul. Must be on the edge of the penalty area there, but again the referee waves nothing, and Charlton lose possession. Bates will bring it forward for Stockport. If anything comes of this, it could be repercussions as Stockport are overloaded. Charlton into the penalty area goes Barry, past Edmonds Green. Good save from the shot by Mannion, and then cleared away by
he gives
Therese Campbell, and then a free kick with a nudge on Godden by Connolly, and the referee does give the free kick.
Yeah, I stuck under in first 45, but no excuses second half. The free kick against Gillespie was dreadful. How that's not a free kick on the edge of the box is beyond me.
Charlton take the free kick quickly. Therese Campbell on the march on the left-hand side. Corner of the penalty area, goes past his man. Therese Campbell chips the ball back across. Too high for Leeburn. He'll chase it back and collect it right side. Looking for options. Might take on Toure. Goes one side, then the other. Toure gets a foot in, but Miles Leeburn, he did have possession back, but then Barry chasing back, wins possession back for Stockport. Taylor does well to win it for Charlton, and then he's dragged to the floor by Wootton. The Addicks will have a free kick just inside the Addicks half on the right.
Listen, 27 minutes plus I think a healthy chunk of additional time.
Well, Stockport are going to make 3 changes here. I think they recognise that they're under pressure here.
I think this is a really good move from Dave Challinor. They're tiring, they're dropping deeper and deeper, and actually they're almost waiting to concede, and I think conceding this game will be very, very costly for Stockport at this moment in time. So this is a very good move from the opposing manager.
Well, Powell and Mingy are the first 2 ones to come off, and then Norwood will also come off. And coming on will be Alaofe, Fevrier and Bailey for Stockport County.
And replacing number 26, Ollie Norwood. Will be number 27, Owen Bailey.
Gordon going across to the referee to ask why there was no decision for that free kick on the edge of the box.
Yeah, it's a poor
decision. Away.
Really poor. Not sure why he didn't give. He was right on top of it. No excuse for not seeing it.
He went to give it and changed his mind, didn't he? You could see he was going to give it and then stopped as Terry Taylor sends the ball towards the edge of the penalty area. It's a header by Gordon, but it goes backwards. Cleared away by Stockport, and as far as Edwards, who gives the ball back to Mannion. Taylor will send it forward as Mitchell stayed forward. The header from Horsfall gets the ball away, but it'll be picked up by Berry. He guides his header to Edmonds Green on the right. Edmonds Green bringing it forward. Ball into the box. Horsfall. Oh, a deflected clearance. Don't know how close that was to the top left-hand corner. I don't think it was that far away. It'll be a Charlton corner.
Yeah, I think it's Horsfall. And again, I don't want to peg it to levels, but you clear that with your left foot. I don't know why a defender would ever go for that with the right foot. It brings in the slice out of play, into play.
Dear. Just over the bar, in fact, as the corner comes in. It's a low one. Gordon, little flick. Campbell's there, saved and then finished by Edmonds Green. The Addicts back on level terms. Slightly scuffed opportunity. Charlton won't count. The low worked corner into the centre. A little flick on in the 6-yard box. I think it was Therese Campbell who got the got the shot away after the flick on, and Edmonds Green was on hand after the save from an eye to bring the score back to 1-0.
Yep, game on. I tell you what, we've looked. I said about that long swinging back post corner wasn't working, but we've had other inventive moves today, particularly into the near post. It's a wonderful flick round the corner. Campbell gets his shot away. Adai makes another good save. This time, the rebound falls very kindly into the path of Edmonds Green, and he taps in. We have a game on. Let me tell you, Stockport will or should be on the back foot in the next 5 or 10 minutes. We need to show a bit of composure, keep hold of the ball, because they'll be at 6s and 7s for the next 4 or 5 minutes.
Taylor finds Berry, lovely ball back to Anderson, or he tried to go outside to Edmonds Green, he's left it short, and Toure brings it forward for Stockport. Barry on his outside, sends the ball into the box, so it's an aimless one. And Stockport miss an opportunity there to put Charlton under real pressure.
But you say that, Tel, I agree with you, but we shouldn't have given that opportunity. We were in a great position, and it's that crisp pass again. Why is it short? Why has it been intercepted? The quality has to be better in possession, because we've actually pulled them apart there. There was space all over the pitch, and that one pass kills it, and we were on the front foot. They're struggling now, mentally out there at the moment. They're struggling, and you can't give little turnovers like that away.
And they have possession back. Stockport, and Edmonds Green has lost out to Barry in the penalty area, gets the shot away, and it's a block from Gillespie. Stockport fans behind the penalty area, behind the goal rather, want a penalty. It's out to Toure. Ball into the box, the header coming in from Alaofe is wide of the target, well wide in fact, but Charlton, having got back on level terms, really want to drive this positivity.
Listen, we found a way to get an equaliser.
Don't want to get Stockport and let them off the hook.
No, we found a way to get an equaliser, which was key to today. You know, we've managed to claw back a deficit that we shouldn't have really had against us. We've been the better side, and we've created the more of the opportunities. It's now, can we turn a negative into a real positive and 3 points? But what we can't do is risk going to get that second and leave the door slightly ajar for Stockport to counter. But at the moment,
Nathan Jones was livid at his own players, Anderson in particular, giving the ball away, and
yeah, he should
put us under pressure. And
he should be.
The referee's just booked him. I think the referee thought he was having a go at him for whatever reason. Anyway, Charlton send the ball forward. Leeburn tussling with Connolly. Didn't see who got the last touch. Might have been Miles Leeburn. And that's the way the officials see it.
He needs to be driven like that on the sideline, though, because those little mistakes shouldn't. Like, if you want your players to improve, right, and you just accept those decisions, and I think we've had coaches and managers in the past that did accept those mistakes. You can't, because that's the only way that they're going to improve.
Browning Charlton with possession back on that right hand side. Anderson and Leeburn combine. It's Anderson on this right hand side. Oh, and he just runs out of room. He's livid with the official for giving the decision against him. He must be careful because he's just been booked, actually, Corey Anderson, hadn't he? Further, what do we assume is verbals to the referee. Doesn't want to get a second one of those. While Charlton are back on level terms as Stockport clear it away to their right hand side. Ball forward from Bailey, but it's cut out, and Therese Campbell brings it forward. Little touch back from Godden into Taylor, who's trying to send Therese Campbell on his way on the left hand side, and should be a Charlton throw, that, I think, and it is. It's come off of, although Touré's not happy about it, but Campbell and Touré were tussling, and it's a judge to have come off Touré last.
Yeah, let me tell you, they were all at sea there, Stockport, on that turnover. The ball from Taylor should have gone into Corey Anderson in the centre of midfield. He had 40 yards to drive in. The ball over the top actually has sort of let them off the hook a little bit, but they're struggling in their shape at the moment, Stockport. We've got to take advantage.
Throw goes back to Taylor, who swings it into the box, but that's easy for Adai to come and claim. He sends it out quickly to the left with bait. Stockport looking to break. Out to Barry. A little touch back to. The referee's blown possession when Bailey had it in possession for Stockport.
He really is making it difficult to stick up for him today. He really is.
Challenge coming in there from Godden on Touré, and he's won the ball back, and Taylor will bring it forward for Charlton in the centre circle, looking for options. To his left is Edwards. Edwards goes backwards to Gillespie. Across to his right is Mitchell. 20 minutes left of normal time. Mitchell brings it forward out to Edmonds Green. Edmonds Green lifts it into the box, looking for Godden. Header from Horsfall ahead of him. We'll find Touré on his left. Sends it forward up towards Wootton, but Mitchell wins that header. Taylor, lovely little reverse ball into Godden. Godden picks out Leeburn. Leeburn gets the shot away. It's a huge deflection from the diving Horsfall off his leg and away for a corner.
Yeah, it's an excellent block from the centre half, but that's a wonderful move from Charlton. That's slick, it's precise, it's good passing, it's intelligent in terms of the flick round the corner to Leeburn. A lot to like about that last attack, which led to a shot from Leeburn that was fizzing towards the bottom right hand corner. Excellent block from Horsfall.
Can Charlton capitalise on this momentum and this pressure on the visiting side? Taylor goes across on the right for Charlton to take this corner. Swung in. Godden gets there, but he can't direct his header goalwards. It goes wide of the post. He got there. He's annoyed with himself that he didn't do better with it.
Yeah, it's good stuff from Charlton. I thought the equaliser would have this effect, which is suddenly the drums beating, the covered end's excited, there's a little bit more atmosphere in the ground, and Stockport are struggling to find a way. Look at the huge gaps that are appearing in the centre of the pitch here, where the shape's gone to pot a little bit.
Wootton and Mitchell challenge, and referee allows that to go with Wootton hitting the floor. Charlton send the ball forward, looking for Godden. It's gone beyond him. Connolly retreating will clear it away for Stockport. Edwards underneath this, heads it back towards the centre. It's a good header on by Anderson, and Berry will pick it up for Charlton. Little touch to Godden, slightly behind him, and he couldn't control it. It's allowed Stockport to clear. Edmonds Green quickly in on the challenge, though. Intercepts for Charlton. Edmonds Green, little touch to Leeburn in the box. Can he get there, Leeburn? He can. Little touch towards goal, cleared away, and then Anderson skies the ball over, and Berry's annoyed that he didn't get the pass from Leeburn. He wanted it just laid back. Leeburn, I think, was trying to pick out Godden. Stockport cleared away, and then Anderson shot over the bar. Wow, wide and over.
Well, listen, it's brilliant from Edmonds Green. He's anticipated the ball out, got in front, then he's had the composure to find Leeburn with a little ball down the side of the defender, and Leeburn does everything right, cuts back on his left, and I don't understand why he hasn't seen Berry, who's squaring behind him and with a gaping goal to tap a ball into, and he squares it across the goal mouth. A massive missed opportunity for Charlton to take the lead.
Gillespie wins the dropping ball and headers it forward. Stockport regain possession after that, and some ball down the line nearly caught Charlton out with Barry. Wotton will pick it up, and it's an interception from Anderson. Runs kindly for Bailey, who takes his shot over the bar and into the back of the Jimmy Seed. Charlton again, it's almost masters of their own downfall.
Yeah, just got to be aware of that, you know. Again, if Stockport were to find a winner, there's no reason why they can't, you know, with a little counter or a mistake here and there. If they were to find a winner, they wouldn't deserve it at this moment in time.
It's a good ball out from Gillespie up to Therese Campbell, but quickly in on the challenge is Bailey. Charlton have a throw. Edwards back to Gillespie. But, Mitchell across on the opposite side of the penalty area. He's got space to move into. Mitchell, Evans Green to his right. Ahead of him is Leeburn. Leeburn holds the ball up well, and then little touch into Berry. Leeburn shrugs off his man. Berry with a ball into Godden. He couldn't take it under control again. Only just got there first and stays down. Connolly, and the referee will blow up here. And I've got a feeling this is well, I didn't see any contact, but difficult to tell from this angle whether there was anything.
Yeah, I just want to go back for that move, and I ignore this a little bit and just got the difference it makes when you can find a centre forward to feet who's got strength, who can hold off a defender, because you turn a ball into midfield where you can keep possession, support and go beyond, and we haven't had that. And that's what I was saying in that first half. The physicality was just missing in that final third. Miles has added that, and suddenly you've got a centre forward that can control and we can support.
This might surprise you. Connolly went down, claiming he'd been hit in the head, just as the physio was due to come on. Connolly got to his feet. And now Ade goes to ground under pressure from Leeburn while trying to hold on to the ball for too long. Clearance goes straight to Anderson. Anderson gets the ball back. Taylor finds Anderson once more. He's turning into trouble a little bit there, but he manages to get the ball away to Edmonds Green.
Wrong pass from Taylor again to a player who's under pressure. But at least they're linking up. You know, I've said before, can the midfielders link up a bit more? They're looking for each other.
Anderson back on the ball again on the right. He's pulled to the ground by retreating Wotton, and Charlton will have a free kick halfway inside the Shrewsbury half on the right.
I know you don't like, particularly you and Greg don't like me saying stuff like this, but
you haven't said it yet.
Well, they are there for the taking, that is for sure.
Yeah, you're right.
And we've clawed this game back. We shouldn't have been behind in the first place, and we've clawed it back to 1-1, and we are the team in the ascendancy. And it's just, I'll go back to the Leyton Orient game, where it was, can we find the winner? You know, that's the key to this performance. You find a winner, you've shown a bit of character today to come back from behind, get the 3 points, but it's full team plus add-ons to find a win here. But we are the team on the front foot and in the ascendancy. Stockport struggling just a little bit now. Taylor with the free kick, swings it into the penalty area. Mitchell is there. It's headed away by Horsfall. Anderson trying to catch up with it. Deflected into Campbell, Therese Campbell, on this left-hand side. 1-1 here at Charlton. As Campbell shapes to get the ball in, he gets it in off a deflection off of Bate. Wasn't the greatest cross, but it almost worked out. Stockport clear, picked up by Taylor. It's a rushed ball back to Edwards, who gets it forward. Leeburn tussling with Horsfall, who gets the header away, but Campbell gets a foot in, almost gets past Toure, who sticks a leg out and concedes the throw in to Charlton. It's all Addicks at the second. Edwards quickly with the throw into Taylor. Taylor back out to Edwards, who's going to use Taylor once more. Shifts the ball into the centre, and Mitchell, Gillespie to his left, to his right is Edmonds Green, or he tried to go forward and actually gets away with it. Godden uses Edmonds Green behind him into the centre. Taylor trying to send Berry away in there to that channel on the right hand side, and a little nudge in the back on Pye. Pye then skies his attempted ball out behind for a corner. Everybody thought there was going to be a free kick. Nothing given. Charlton corner. Yeah, he done well to put his hands in the air to indicate that he wasn't using them to make physical contact. But there was a huge gap in behind their midfield, in front of their back line there. It needed Therese Campbell to come off this left-hand side to drift across 15 yards to receive. And that's what I mean about recognition of space being created.
Ball into the box from Taylor. Leeburn will jump, gets his header there, but he couldn't get full enough contact on it to guide it goalwards, and it's away for a goal kick.
Look at the difference that threat makes. And I said I don't want to put any pressure on Miles. He's been out a long time, and we've got to treat him with kid gloves a little bit, wrap him up in cotton wool, look after him, but look at the difference he makes physically. I've already spoke about him holding the ball up. This ball wasn't anywhere near as far towards beyond the far post as previous balls, and it didn't have the loop on it, and that's allowed Miles to attack it. Decent ball again from Taylor. 2 changes for Stockport.
Well, coming off is Barry and Wotton. Coming on is Diamond and Fiorini, of course, who spent time on loan here at Charlton from Man City. 5 appearances for the Addicts. Didn't get on the score sheet.
Yeah, I mean, they've literally changed everybody in their front line. You know, Wotton's gone off, Powell's gone off, Barry's gone off.
It's going to be a goal kick to restart as we approach the 79th minute.
Well, the one thing we can say about Fiorini, he didn't have a good time here, but if you give him time and space, he does have the quality to affect the game. But physically, he can't get away from too many people. You've got to stay on top of him.
Anderson with a good header from the goal kick. Godden finds Therese Campbell, who motors down his left-hand side, gets past the first man, tries to go past the second, doesn't quite get past Bailey, who clears it away. And Gillespie gets out-muscled by Alaofe, who's taking the ball forward. Alaofe to the edge of the Charlton penalty area. There's a little ball back to Diamond, back to Alaofe. Charlton back in numbers now, but Stockport still in possession. Toure inside to Bate. Bate back out to Toure. A little ball lifted into Alaofe. Gillespie this time behind him. Back out to the left-hand side. Ball into the box. Headed away by Edwards. Charlton struggling to clear at the minute. Taylor gets a header on it, but only as far as Bate. Diamond on the left-hand side. Bate inside of him. Ball into Fiorini. Trying to take on Campbell. Out to Diamond once more. Up against Edmonds Green. Diamond cuts in on his right foot. Shot coming away, blocked by Taylor. It's a good block as well, and now Leeburn will challenge him. Super challenge on Pye, wins the ball, and he'll come forward. Miles Leeburn into the edge of the area. Can he get the ball across? Dragged to the floor. Referee waves it away, and again there was a pass on left to Godden. Didn't come off. The challenge coming in, deemed completely fair by the referee, and Stockport have possession back with Bate. Foot in from Therese Campbell. Back to Toure.
Should have squared. Yep. Should have squared. He done brilliant to nudge the defender at the right time to drive away, but on the second touch, Godden had got away from his man. Should have squared to Godden. Took a touch too many. Questions over the contact. I need to see a replay on that to have any, real decision, or to question the referee. But look at the difference he makes being in the side. But I do question the 2 balls he's had at his mercy to deliver to players in better positions than him. Maybe that's just a little bit ring rusty from Miles, but certainly Godden had got away from his man. And actually it's nice to see Matty's just clap Miles for what he did, rather than have a moan at him about not squaring it, in contrast to what Berry did, which was rip his head off when he didn't square it.
Terry Taylor just on his haunches and just been checked by the referee if he's all right.
That was a good block from him as well. I meant to mention that. Doubled up on the inside, made a decent block when the guy got on his right foot. Excellent from Terry Taylor. He'll be feeling it now, Tel. You can't have that long out the game and not be feeling it in the last 9 minutes plus add-ons.
He's done well there to put pressure on Bailey, though. And Bailey gives away the Charlton throw.
Don't rush it. Don't rush it. We're not ready to take that throw. That's a bit naive, that one.
Anderson gets to the dropping ball, tries to find Leeburn, who flicks it on. Can't find Godden, though, and Connolly will launch it forward for Stockport. And Alaofe and Gillespie tussling in the centre of the pitch. And Alaofe wins inside a free kick.
Yeah, it's important, Tel. Really important, I think, that we don't find a way to lose this one, which can still happen. We've been in the ascendancy for some time. The equaliser was thoroughly deserved, but at the very minimum we've got to get out of it with a point.
Bate over the ball with this free kick. It's a yard in from the right hand touchline for Stockport. Sends it to the edge of the area. Anderson with a good header away, but the flag goes up. There's going to be an offside decision in here.
Yeah, and all things like that work in your favour. There are a few. I did think Roy Anderson would tire. He's the same as Taylor, just gone down on his haunches. And fair play, there's no criticism there. The guy's been flying around the world. playing games while everyone else is having a little break back at the training ground, taking it nice and easy.
Well, he's been flying around the pitch as well, and he's back in possession for Charlton, and he sends away Leeburn. That's a lovely ball on the right-hand side. Miles Leeburn on the right-hand side of the penalty area, looks up, finds Berry, who tried to touch it into Godden, who wasn't expecting it. I think Godden was expecting Berry to take a touch and hit it there, but the ball was too cleared away.
Ball was too fierce, and you've got to have a seriously good technique to bring that down without a defender being able to get on top of you. But
clearance goes out of play for a Charlton throw, and it's taken. It's into the feet of Gillespie. He's got Edwards out here to the left-hand side. It's going to be closed down. So he sends the ball long, asking Therese Campbell to run into that channel, and Therese Campbell might get there, and his arm across him by Connolly that's prevented his run, and the referee was just jogging across towards where the incident took place. Everybody was assuming he'd ignored it completely, and then he blew up for the free kick, much to everybody's surprise, much to Charlton's delight and Stockport's anger.
Yeah, seeing a replay now. Oh, it's blatant. It's absolutely... I don't know why he took so long to give that.
It's perplexing everybody, I think.
I love the way the reaction is, that, like, from Connolly. I don't even know why you're giving that. Your arm went right across, and I'm going to be generous and say the chest of Tyrese Campbell. It's from their perspective, if this leads to something, it's really poor. They had that covered off, no problem. They had 2v1 against Tyrese Campbell. No need to even put your arm out.
So can Terry Taylor's delivery match the deliveries he's brought in so far in this game?
Movement is the key. Get across your man. Don't just stand still. Can we have a little bit of movement as well in that penalty area? They've got a flat line, zonal marking. They're not really man-to-man marking. They've just picked up who they think are the two key ones in our two centre-halves. Everybody else sort of can move away from their man and be on their toes.
Taylor thought about...
No, I like that.
And then
there's a plan here.
A mock free kick. Now runs up again, swings it in. It's a deep one, and it's
Terry.
I built it up, and it didn't happen.
I'm going to give him a little out ball, because the quality on delivery can desert you when you're absolutely shattered. Your legs are wobbling, you're shaking, you're trying to find a way to get through your first 90 minutes in a long, long time. And the delivery has been much better today at set pieces, so we'll forgive him that one poor one, but just when we needed it most, as Leo Sayer would say.
Showing your age. Oh, it's a lovely touch from Godden. Leeburn will do well to get there, though. It's curiously, Adai kicks the ball out of play. Maybe he thought he was in danger of sliding out of the penalty area if he landed on it,
or he wasn't sure that it would be. No, he couldn't have. No, it's just a poor decision from Adai. He could have picked that up.
And Charlton have the throw. It was a good ball forward initially, as Leeburn picks it up the Charlton on that right-hand side. He's got three players for company. He's gone past all of them. Still Miles Leeburn. Two players now in front of him. Tries to go past them both, and he's blocked off. Anderson challenging on the edge of the area. The referee's bottled it. Anderson and I think it was Toure on that left-hand side were battling. Toure landed on the ball, and the referee has decided to free kick to Stockport. Time will tell. I don't think that was necessarily a foul. I'm not entirely sure that was either, but the referee's given a free kick to Stockport.
The one thing I can categorically tell you is it shouldn't be a free kick to Stockport. Right? There was no free kick there. There was no infringement by any Charlton player to lead to a stop. But it's very unusual that a player puts his belly on top of the ball so no one can get to it. I don't know what the outcome is, but it's certainly not a free kick to Stockport.
Anderson with the challenge, and Leeburn will pick it up. That's a good ball to Godden. Godden a little bit isolated, looks for support, and Barrow, and he's taken out then completely by Horsfall. He's already booked, so he's off here.
That's off.
Horsfall's gone. It's a lunging challenge. He said he got the ball, but it's a lunging challenge that took out Godden. Godden went over.
No, I don't think he's saying he got the ball. What he's saying is the ball's not. The ball's. Oh no, he is saying he got the ball. He's absolutely mouthing that. Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't agree. I don't agree. But maybe we'll be proven wrong with a. Oh, the keeper's down. Here we go.
Well, of course he is.
This old classic. This old classic. I don't know.
Mitchell's about to go and help him to his feet, which is delightful to see.
I don't know how you get on top of this one, because you can't say he's not injured. You can't not have the treatment on in case he is injured. But no, now he's saying no. Yeah, this rule, something has to be done. This is the 5th time we've seen it down at the Valley this season, where the goalkeeper's been used, and now every Stockport player comes off to receive instructions from their manager. This has to change.
This is the bit that shouldn't be.
No, the EFL has to get on top of this and change this rule. It's absurd. It's chronic, in fact, to a degree that it should have been wiped out the very first time someone in authority saw it. They don't act quick enough ever. They never ever seem to get on top of things that are clearly, bad sportsmanship.
Unless it takes, the only thing I can think of is if there's a referee brave enough to just let the game go ahead.
You can't,
because it's not a head injury.
I agree with what you've just said. You have to allow the goalkeeper to have treatment because he could well be injured, and you can't call him out for faking an injury. The players shouldn't be allowed to leave and come over. They should be able to stay in the centre of the pitch. They shouldn't be allowed to come over to their manager.
I agree with 100%.
But then they'll go on, we're going over for a drink.
Kaheem Dixon is about to come on for Charlton.
Yeah, I like that move.
Debut.
I like that move. I do.
It's if Terry Taylor... No, he'd already appeared in another cup trophy, so I think Kaheem Dixon will be very close to the 1,000th player.
He's 998,
999 or 998.
Potentially
so
999.
It's close.
Yeah.
Hopefully somebody listening, perhaps from the museum, can tell me, because the museum very kindly normally keep you up to date with these sort of things.
I think we could see double digits added on here. We've already had a 4-minute injury earlier, 3 to 4 minute injury earlier. We've had 2 to 3 minutes there. We've had multiple substitutions. I think you could be a double-digit add-on. If you're not, I'd be very, very surprised.
Well, the outcome of all of that is that Charlton will have a free kick. It's just about halfway inside the Stockport half and just right of centre. And Terry Taylor is over this. Stockport down to 10 men. Taylor. 7 minutes of added time here, and again another false free kick, and this time it's a little short routine out to Campbell.
I told you,
Campbell looking to take his man on. He's gone past one, and then Diamond had just been fouled by Therese Campbell.
He is hitting. I'm afraid to say this, and I do try and stick up for officials, as you well know, because it's a tough job. But the second half performance has been utterly useless. Utterly useless. That's a slip.
Terry Taylor, unsurprisingly, after his efforts and first game in a considerable number of months, is making way to Kaheem Dixon for his league debut.
Yeah.
Can the boy from the Caribbean make an impact in the 7 minutes that remain?
Where's he gone? So Luke Berry's dropped alongside Corey Anderson. They're going to be the two sitters, and Dixon has just popped up in front of those two, off of Leeburn and Godden. Can he break him beyond? Can he show us what he's got pace-wise? Can we get the ball to his feet? See what he's got technically.
Gillespie
Leeburn's down.
Leeburn just got shoulder charged in the ribs. Goes to ground, but he's up again. Stockport clear. Mitchell heads it forward. Little flick on from Berry. Deflects out to Edmonds Green on the right-hand side. Ball forward to Leeburn. Holds the ball up. Leeburn turns, trying to find another red shirt. He's got 3 players for company, and goes to ground. That's not a foul either. But John have a free kick.
No, he's fallen on top of the ball, and the referee doesn't know what to do. But he just gives a foul to Charlton.
Fiorini gets booked for complaining, and the words "lost control" spring to mind.
Well, he's being assessed, and I hope the assessor, goes through this game with him. It's been an eye-opener.
It might take a while. It's a Charlton free kick.
And that's both ways. We're not being Charlton biased here. We're saying it's just been a terrible performance both ways. It's quite astonishing you can get that many things wrong.
It's on the right-hand side. Berry now over this. Sends it into the box. It's a good free kick as well. It's a header coming in from Mitchell. And did that get saved? I thought it might have come off the post. Adai is adjudged to have saved that round the corner for a corner.
Yeah, it's certainly first contact Charlton, and Adai makes a save low down to his right. It was a very simple save. He's pushed it round the corner for another opportunity for Charlton from a corner.
Didn't look certain about it though, Adai. It was a save, you're right.
Yeah, do not give the referee an opportunity to blow up for a free kick before this ball's even made the middle of the box. So leave their keeper alone. Just make sure we can get on the end of it. I'd like to see one or two more players drop out to the penalty spot for the second ball out.
Corner comes in. It's at the near post. Flick on!
How have we not got something on
the
that?
6-yard box, no contact at all, and it's away for a goal kick.
Criminal that we've not managed to get a touch on that.
There was a flick on attempt. I'm not sure there was any
evaded
contact made. I think it was,
I love this near post ball. It's whipped
corner. Gillespie, an attempted flick on. It's gone past everybody and away for a goal kick. We are 3.5 minutes into the added 7.
And again, I haven't moaned up about the 7, but there was a 4-minute injury at the start of this half, and I said you wouldn't have that on. There was 3 minutes for the keeper there. There's your 7 and multiple substitutions. They haven't even, I could well be wrong. Someone could time both those incidents. They could be 5 minutes, but it felt like it should have been a lot longer.
Alofe with something on it, and then King Dixon goes to ground and stays down there as Stockport bring the ball forward. Down to the left-hand side, and Toure. Fiorini also down. And it's Bailey for Stockport. Corner of the penalty area on the left-hand side. Back to Toure as Fiorini makes his way up to his feet. Bailey going to take on Mitchell. Goes backwards to Bate. Dixon trying to close him down. Bate then sends the ball forward. Edmonds Green will be the first to get there and guides it back to Mannion. Could have taken his time, instead launches it forward first time. Leeburn gets something on it, and Dixon will pick it up for Charlton. Kaheem Dixon, Leeburn dragged to the floor, Dixon into the penalty area, back on his left foot. Still Kaheem Dixon trying to back heels it into Leeburn, gets a shot away, just right in the post.
Jeez. How have we not won this game? That's excellent from Leeburn, and then Dixon back to Leeburn, and you just think that's nestling in the far corner.
We're going to be a booking from the man who's down now. Is the guy that dragged Leeburn to the floor. I think it's Pye, who's already on a yellow card, and he dragged Leeburn to the floor, and that also should be a second yellow, because just because we're playing on shouldn't negate the fact that it's a foul. But Kaheem Dixon dragged it back onto his left foot, trying to backheel it into Leeburn's path. He got the shot away and just scuffed it, or dragged it rather than scuffed, I should say. Dragged it wide of the post.
Still thought he was going to get inside that far post for the winner. Hanging on, Stockport.
Gillespie with the header, but it goes straight to Bailey. Bailey turns away and picks out Fiorini. Out to his right hand side is Diamond. Diamond going to take on Edwards. Goes back to Fiorini. Take this into the corner, I suspect, and touches it inside, but will be picked off by Berry. Looks forward up towards Leeburn. Leeburn will jump, get something on it. Godden trying to get there, doesn't quite. It's just beaten to it by Toure, and Bailey will pick it up for Stockport. Back to Toure. Toure will launch it forward, looking for Alofe, but it'll be too far ahead of him. And Mitchell had time, but his skies his clearance up in the air, and Gillespie, fortunately, the first to react for Charlton. Bailey gets something on it. Kaheem Dixon can't get there. And Bates will bring it forward for Stockport. Out to Toure. Bailey sliding in his Leeburn. That gives away the throw-in. We're into the last 30 seconds of added time. Toure forward to take it. He's going to get a yellow card for hanging on to the ball for too long. Will the referee add that time on? We shall see. Toure goes down the line. Edmonds Green will get there first. Heads it back to Toure though. Knocks it forward. Edmonds Green clears. Headed away by Connolly, and as far as Gillespie. To his left is Edwards. Charlton need to get this ball forward now. Edwards launches it up towards Leeburn. It's beyond him though. Headed away by Pye. It'll be a Charlton throw on this near side. Edwards comes forward for it. Throws backwards to Gillespie, who needs to send this into the penalty area, and does, but that's going to be too close to the keeper. Oh, headed away by Connolly and straight to Therese Campbell, trying to take on his man, and that has to be a foul in the corner. It is, by Fevrier on Therese Campbell, who stayed down with cramp. Charlton will have one more opportunity, you feel, to try and grab the winner.
Yeah, we got away with one there because the ball from Gillespie, you just got to hang it up above Miles and let him challenge and win the knockdown. And it's a relatively easy ball because I used to do it back in the day with Carl. So we got away with one because he skewed it to the keeper and inexplicably they headed it clear when they needn't. But this will be the last opportunity of the game. And what you'd like to see is us man the edge of the box as well. Can we have one or two just filter out to the edge of the 18 for that header that comes clear that you can come on and volley back at goal?
Well, Edwards is loitering around there. Therese Campbell is out of the game because he's still limping with cramp.
Just if I would like him to stand still.
Give the ball to him now. Just give the ball to him now.
If he's available.
Drills it in. Ball drilled in. Oh, saved away. And that's the final whistle. It's all square here at the Valley. Charlton will wonder why it's all square, how it's all square, but all square it is. The Addicts went behind after 11 minutes from a Louis Barry penalty after Mannion are judged to have taken out Nick Powell in the penalty area. It took the Addicts until 65 minutes when Romani Edmonds-Green got on the shot that was parried away by Adai from Therese Campbell to bring the scores back level. And Charlton had chances upon chances to claim the winner, but just couldn't quite manage it. And it's finished all square here. And coming goal from a goal behind, there are plus points. But you get the feeling that Nathan Jones will be ruining the opportunity missed.
Yeah, I think that's on one hand a point gained because we've come from behind, but on another hand he'll be perplexed as how we haven't won that one. A little bit of a charm life the Stockport goal had. We've missed a couple of very, very good opportunities, and we've had opportunities that we've not even managed to get a shot away when we were in fantastic positions. The square to Berry from Leeburn and the square to Gordon from Leeburn are two highlights of that. But yeah, that's 2 points dropped in my opinion because the performance was more than good enough today to have warranted all 3 points, and quite comfortably if truth be told. The penalty is just catastrophic defending, and we've gifted our opponent a goal. And they're the errors that you have to clean up, because that should have been 3 points Charlton today, and the fact it's not is purely down to that one lapse in the first 45 minutes, which has led to Stockport opening and scoring from the penalty spot. But you can't ask a lot more from the team in terms of creating opportunities, in terms of coming back and showing a little bit of character. And it's a shame they didn't go on to get the winner, because that team and that performance, for me, deserved all 3 points today.
But it's just the point. It's not a defeat, which, as you said, coming from a goal behind, you should take that. The Addicts, after impressive victory over Birmingham, get a point here at the Valley and move on to Barnsley on Tuesday night.
And as you can see, Tel, just from the covered end, and the team's going around, and Charlton fans will let you know if a draw's okay, if you put the performance in. And that to me is recognition that they agree that the performance warranted the 3 points. They're not an unfair bunch. If you deserve a bit of stick, they'll give you a bit. But today on a 1-1, they recognise this team's been the better team.
But a better team that couldn't get the 3 points, sadly. A decent performance from the Addicts, but they just couldn't see it out. But a point, I guess you'll take now and move on, and get the unbeaten run going, and move on to Barnsley Tuesday, and then Wrexham back here on Saturday. If you can join us on Charlton TV, please do so on Tuesday night away at Oakwell, and then again back here at the Valley on Saturday. Do catch up with all the post-match reaction from today's game on Charlton's social media channels. But from myself, Terry Smith, from Steve Brownie, who's going to
I'm just going to say
sunnier climes.
I'll do my best to.
Yes, I know you will. Yeah, basically they're leaving me alone. Both Greg and Brownie are jetting off to sunnier climes, and I've got to put up with another legend. That is Peter Shirtliff.
No, the legend. You said earlier, the legend, not another.
I'm delighted to say that I'll be joined by Peter Shirtliff on Tuesday night. But Brownie, have a great time away.
Thank you, Joe. Thanks
have a deserved rest, and come back and have another deserved rest when you come back.
I'll be in pain through that second,
that's true.
That's
a fair point. No, from all of us here at the Valley, and Dinah on production as well, my thanks. But thank you all for watching this Charlton TV production. Couldn't bring you to win, just a point here at the Valley. Have a great rest of the weekend and enjoy the week. Do join us again on Tuesday and Saturday. But in the meantime, from Brownie and myself, ta-da.